the best app for can be downloaded from the App Store for Apple or Google Play for Android. Legends Collector, the best app for everything Legends.
And welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's Dan Who, and happy Thursday to everybody. Shout out JC as well for becoming a channel member, showing some love. And thank you again to Jacob's Toys. So that video that I just played at the start is Jacob's Toys has just launched a new app on Android and on iPhone called Legends Collector, where it's basically a checklist, an archive for all your Marvel Legends. So I've been testing out the beta. I think it's a really cool app. It's something that us as collectors would like. I'm starting to create like a list of all the gaps I'm missing and just the random figures that I need to fill holes in the collection. So I do encourage you to go and check it out. It's currently number 1 on iTunes on the entertainment sort of download section. But shout out to Jacob's Toys. Again, I'll play it at the end maybe. But I'll put the link to Jacob's Toys video, YouTube in the channel. I'm sure you're aware. Another UK guy, so showing some love. But as always, people, we are here to talk some Marvel Legends. And I did tease it the previous week. I said we'll be back to talk about a Ghost Rider retro wish list. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So it's Brandon's birthday, so he's not here. But me and Rich are here. And Rich has said he's going to sing him happy birthday. Over to you, Rich.
Happy birthday to Brandon. Happy birthday to Brandon. It's his birthday today. He can buy alcohol.
Hey! Happy 18th birthday to Brandon. He's a young man. He's a young man. To be fair, I do apologise to Brandon. He's literally boarding a plane right now, and he jumped on the Zoom call while the Jacob Toys video was playing. So he was here, I promise you. But Rich is recording a little message on his phone, so hopefully I'll play that at some point during the stream today. But yes, make sure you send your birthday wishes to Brandon, hero.collections on Instagram. You know the score. But today, me and Rich are here to talk Ghost Rider, and we're going to be joined by special guest Cloud later on, because my Ghost Rider knowledge isn't all that. Like, I'm not going to lie. How's yours, Rich?
It's probably better than yours, but not by much, I would say.
When I've seen Ghost Rider in the comics, it's been in other people's stories, right? Rather than me reading a Ghost Rider issue type thing. So, and I obviously know some of the supporting cast because they pop up all over the place. But yeah, like for me, obviously Johnny Blaze, Danny Catch, but I've never read anything of Robbie Reyes. I've only seen like the live action version on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because that's quite modern, isn't it? That's like 2000 something.
Yeah, not that long ago. So it was like after the Avengers when the first season of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out, and it went for like 5 years, I think. So 6 years? 6 years, maybe?
Maybe. We're going to get into it all anyway. Rich has worked his magic as always, and we've made a 15 character wish list with allies, villains, alternative versions, Ghost Riders himself, because there've been more than one person to hold the mantle, of course.
Yeah. So 14 of these are Ghost Riders.
Yeah. So we are going to get into that, but you know how these things go. And by the way, my hair's all crazy, like, because I've just washed it. So if it's flowing all over the place, that's why. I just wanted to make Rich jealous, to be fair. I can donate you some, Rich, because
I'll send you some tips of what I use for mine. Look at that. I never get any problems every week. It's just like there.
But of course, as always, we start off with some small talk. We say hello to the chat, and there is a little bit of Marvel Legends news to talk about. A new reveal that it's another Amazon exclusive. So we're getting into all of that.
Oh, put a pin in it, Dan. What are you on about?
Pins, eh? There's been a lot of talk about pins. Let's get into the housekeeping real quick. First and foremost, go and check out all the other live streams on the channel. We just did a record-breaking Legends and Liquor. Not only was it the longest ever, 23 channel members came and joined me on Legends and Liquor. So if you are a channel member at the Members Club tier, I promise you get to be on the channel. Honestly, 23 individual guests. Long stream. If anyone's watched all of it, then bravo to you. But there are some great tidbits on there. Everyone collects something different, and it's always great to hear vasts of opinions of this toy collecting community. None of us are right, and none of us are wrong. Obviously, Joes and Jews, we are going to be doing another one very soon. Me and Tom and Mark. Hopefully, this weekend, people. Hopefully, we shall see. Fingers crossed. So keep your eye out on the channel. And then me and Tanner, the Super Turk 5000, just did a Turtles and Tea. So please go and check that out. I'll put the link in the description of this video for anyone watching on the replay. If you like Turtles toys, you want to hear all about the NECA teases and the brand new Super 7 wave, and then all the other little Turtle tidbits. There's some retro stuff in there. Go and check out Turtles and Tea. It's basically just like this live stream, but for turtles. It's as simple as that, people, all right? So go and do that. Much appreciated. Anything over £4 or $4, Friday, we'll read out your super chat out loud. Be part of today's stream. You can also use the Streamlabs donation link in the description. It's also in the top corner of the screen. Both of them work exactly the same. Friday, we'll read out your comments on either end. It's just that super chat. YouTube steals all the money. But there you go. Either option, it's always appreciated. And the kills, hit that join button. I think I just had Figure List become a channel member while we wasn't streaming. So I do want to shout out the Figure List for becoming a channel member. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And again, if you are a channel member, you know I love you. Get involved in Legends and Liquor. Become a part of this crazy community that we are building, Talking Toys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's say hello to whoever's in the chat, Rich. I'm gonna pop that up real quick. Channel membership, evening gents. This is the best part of the week. Thank you very much. Is that so how do I say
Sean
that
Matthews?
Sean Matthews.
Sean.
I would have said that terribly wrong. So Sean Matthews, thank you very much. Rich knew I was struggling there, so I appreciate that. Right, let me get the chat up. I think I can do the chat in between us. That's usually how it works. Okay, let's do that real quick. You're not Brandon though. Let me get rid of that. There you go. Now you're Rich again. There you go. How does it feel? You're back.
It was nice for 5 minutes.
The people love you. The Rich fan club is here tonight. They are here. I've seen all the tigers earlier when the stream started. The fan club is out. So let's see those Rich M emojis, people.
Lanyards are coming, people.
There you go. There you go. Let me scroll up and see what's going on. So Andrew Clark says, hi, Dan. Hello, Andrew. How are you doing? Laser Pants says, how pow. The Irrelevant Hulk said, what it do, Who Crew? What it do, my friend? Greg refers to Laser Trousers as he should be known. So Laser Trousers, of course. West Charleston is in the chat. Greetings, gents. How you doing? Big Will, the co-host of Turtles and Tea, Jay's Toys Collection UK, Jamie Gitchard, Greg Finstad, Mark Tac, Cap Lives, Mini Plastic Multiverse, Jay's Toys Collection UK. I think Jay and Tanner, two members of this community, are meeting up tomorrow to go to watch Clash of the Champions on, I think it's Saturday night or Sunday night, I don't know. But Phil Jones apparently is too popular to meet them up because he's got to meet 50 other people. Phil, just join the queue. Phil has got one of those tables basically that you have to queue up and get a pay to get a signature for. That's how popular Phil Jones is. Mike,
the wrestlers are meeting him. Did you see all the pictures of all the rest? He's got everyone.
It's Phil Jones. I completely get it. Go and check out Cool Tools UK on Instagram. I think he's been posting some there. Mini Plastic Multiverse. CJ is in the chat as well. Crescent Blue Zero. McButter Golem. Arshavin, Justin joined us for the very first time on Legends and Liquor as well, and he said he had a good time. So always nice adding new faces to the crew. Eric Alfred Abel, Omar V, Striding to Catch a Legend, Hero of Collectors, Alexander, NZ Figures, Rolando, Infamous 216, California Red Devil, Home Dude. Phil Jones is in the chat. I've seen him there. There he is. Phil Jones, we love you. Christopher Allen, Caleb. I'm just scrolling, people. I'm just scrolling. All right, I think I catched all of you for now. Hey. RP says, hey. Your boy's got toys, says, sup. He was mad because I was throwing him bread yesterday. I was sending him those pictures of the new SH Figure Arts Andrew Garfield because that's about to go up for pre-order sometime soon. And talking about imports, Jean is due to ship soon as well. Jean Grey, finally. The Mafex Jean Grey, which, again, is what you've always got toys, big Mafex collector. That's why it popped in my head. You must have that one on pre-order as well, Rich.
Yeah, I've got the Jean on order. She looked great next to my Psylocke.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew. I walked into that one. Okay, before we get into
just getting the animated team in you, Dan. That's all you can say. Because Psylocke wasn't in the main team.
That is the loophole.
I'm just doing the animated team. I'm not doing the 90s Jim Lees.
That's a good loophole. Maverick5 UK's in the chat as well. Your boy's got toys, says happy Thursday. Michael is busy at work putting the finishing touches to his the Lord of the Rings display. Now, I've said to Michael, I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I always fall asleep through it. But I'm hoping I won't fall asleep through his display. I've told him this already. I need to watch the films. He's well aware. It's a gap in my sort of pop culture movie references, but I did buy the trilogy. Like, I have them on DVD with full intention. You wouldn't buy something without the intention to watch it. It's just I don't know, it just never pulled me in just yet. Are you a fan of Lord of the Rings?
I've seen the trilogy. I mean,
big fan. Big
I didn't. The Hobbit films, man, they just went on and on. I only saw the first one of that. I couldn't be bothered with the second and third one.
I've never seen them. Right, I've got some food here with me as well. By the way,
Oh, there's a TV. Isn't there a TV show this week?
Yeah,
on Amazon.
The Lord of the Rings prequel, right? I think
That's it.
Power Out of the Rings, I think. But yeah, I guess I need to watch the movies before I watch that. Daniel S is in the chat. Mike Hex, as I said. Mike T. Omega Weapon 13. Ed Who Collects. See, the Who's are catching on. See, people want to be part of the Who crew. Okay, let's get into some new toys before we get into the Legends news, and then we can get Cloud in here to get into the main topic. So, I'm going to throw this one to you, Rich. Any new toys this week?
I got nothing, Dan.
Nothing.
Between bank holidays, 2 postal strikes, and everything else, nothing has arrived. I've got things like on their way, but nothing has turned up yet. But this week, it doesn't look like anything new has arrived in the UK. I think due to like all the ship, because as well as the postal strikes, there's also been strikes at the main shipping places, dock worker strikes as well. So maybe we're a bit behind, because I think in America, you come home for once, because the Disney Plus wave has started to sneak out in America, in Asia, in Australia as well. Like, they are appearing in certain places. So hopefully they should be everywhere now over the next month. With us, it's still shipping, I think the end of the month, a couple of them on Pulse. September the 26th, it's saying. So who knows? Yeah,
I did. We have said quite a few times here that we are usually, if you go just by this year as an example, the UK were the last to get the Thor wave. Like, that Thor wave was actually seen in hand in a Walmart stockroom before it was actually revealed by Hasbro. Doctor Strange also came out in the US before us. And again, so all the live action stuff, whether it be MCU or Disney Plus, does always seem to hit overseas before in the UK. Now, this isn't me complaining. We've been blessed recently with some stuff nice and early. I know our US friends are only just starting to get like the Bonebreaker wave and the Controller wave and the Spider-Man wave. So we got lucky getting them quite early. But I think this Disney Plus wave I'll be waiting a while for, unfortunately, especially considering it's one of my most anticipated waves of the year. I think it looks great. And we haven't added some Phase 4 figures to the shelf for a while. Our new characters anyway. Of course, we got Doctor Strange and Thor, but I mean new characters like the Moon Knights and the She-Hulks, etc. So I am looking forward to that.
You know what's the most pleased about this? The Legend of all Legends rectangular. But the one stuff they get first is the MCU stuff. Yeah. I can see you celebrating now. I know it.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But I think he just said he told me he ordered 3 of the Spinneret sets just to make sure he got some good paint apps. And for someone who knows how it feels to get dodgy Spinneret paint apps, then that seems like a wise choice. But I've seen loads of posts all over the place. I'm sure Cloud can tell us when she comes on as well, saying what's been arriving in the US. But in the UK, like you, Rich, I haven't really got anything new as such. I did buy doubles. So as you know, I've reviewed Firelord. Go and check out the review on the channel. This arrived in the US as well. I think people in the US have got this now as well. Big Bad Toy Store had it in stock. There is a review on the channel if you're curious. But this is the last one on the Fantastic Four retro card, at least for now. It makes it number 10 with the 6 in the wave, the 2 exclusives, Doctor Doom, and who else? Am I missing anyone else? I must be. 6 in the wave, the 2 exclusives, Doctor Doom, Firelord. Who am I missing?
No, that's everyone. 6 in the wave, 2 exclusives. 10. That's 10. That's right.
Okay, cool. We can count. Good. We were just testing everyone. Anyway, it was the last one to get on card. It was the last one to get on card, so I got it on card. Of course, I think Webman's time is up. You hear that, Webman? Your time is up. You are going to get removed off the wall and go over to the other wall, because I think I need to make room for Lizard. So someone in my comments on my review for this was saying he looks more like Gecko Man, which I understand, but this is pretty accurate to his original appearance in the comics. So bravo. And he was more human-like in the animated show, at least for glimpses as well. So I really like this figure, and it's got the sticker on, and I thought I was going to take that off at first, because it would ruin the aesthetic, but I'm not going to. I feel that would ruin the aesthetics, and it wouldn't be right, so I'm going to keep it on. But it was a thing. Rich, I brought these because they're a bargain, but I don't know if you need one or not. Do you need these?
Oh no, I picked all them up as well. They were all going cheap. Yeah, they're really cool.
So these were a pound, I think. So I picked them up, and I thought for £1, why not? I blame Rob Pollock.
You've got a little collection going now.
I have, yeah. So I I've got a couple. You've sent me a couple. I think Rob Pollock sent me a Donatello as well. So I've only got a few, but because they're little, I can like scatter them around my miscellaneous shaft, just at the front. So yeah, they were only £1, so I got them. I also completed my Ghostbusters. This was £10 in Forbidden Planet. So I wanted to get these and keep these mint because I've got my other ones on display. For £10, why not? Because this may be the last Ghostbuster figures we get from Hasbro because I think the license is gone. So anyway, variants of the Ghostbusters. Now I've got them all. That was the last one I needed. I played the slow game on them and it worked to my advantage, Rich. It worked to my advantage. But the last thing I've got, talking about slow mail. So I pre-ordered this from Toys R Us. I think the year was, I don't know. Was black and white memories. That's all I can say. It was a long time ago, anyway. But it's this guy, the Watcher. Finally.
Oh, nice.
Again, last person in the UK to get this because Toys R Us just purposely lose my address. So yeah, Toys R Us just super slow when it comes to my stuff. But pre-order finally arrived. Finally. So I have a Watcher now, and he's nice in hand. Have you got one of these, Rich?
Yeah, really nice. I got mine from Asteroid M. Shout out Asteroid M.
Yeah.
But really, Asteroid M got me that one. Yeah, really good figure.
I should have used Asteroid M because Toys R Us was slow as hell. But he has got. I didn't realise he had the stand to stand on as well, so I can put him somewhere in the display.
And like because of the way the Watcher is in the comics, he scales well with your Fantastic Four shelf. Like get Galactus as well next to him. Galactus be sorted.
On the way. Exactly. Yeah. This guy, he's on my miscellaneous shelf at the minute, right, with some of the What If figures. He falls down all the time. He not literally every time I hear a noise, I'm like, it's that damn Watcher, and it is every time. So I need to get some peg. Like, is there any place to get Legend stands? Like, I know that's just because some of these figures need them, not all of them, but when you're just standing a guy generic and he's very top heavy with a baby head.
Why didn't you just use one of those 20th century ones, 20th anniversary?
I guess I could.
Check one of them on it or something.
Not wrong. But anyway, the Watch is here. I'm glad he's here, and that is all that I've got. So let's quickly jump into the Legends news.
Brandon just wants everyone to know that he is in the live. He just wants to let everyone in the show know that he is here. So watch what you're saying about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars for the next 10 minutes. Oh. But after that, say what you want.
Right, I'm gonna eat a chip still. These are probably freezing cold now. Yep, they're freezing. Right, okay. Marvel Legends news. There was some news, and we actually have a link as well, which we never really do. So let me get the page up. So this was revealed on Monday. It was the bank holiday. So I remember I was at bowling. I wasn't around, so I couldn't do one of my little breaking news videos. But let me jump to it real quick. There we go. So on Monday, Marvel Legends revealed a comic, Gore the God Butcher, and it is another Amazon exclusive. So I've already done a little video on it, so you know my thoughts. We haven't heard from Rich. Rich, over to you, my friend.
So yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I mean, I like the comic book version of Gore. This is much better than the movie version of Gore, which I didn't even buy. But I really like this figure looking at it. I know that there's like the internet blew up because the packaging art is different to the thing. They've used a render and it hasn't got pins in it. But on the figure, it has got pins in it. It's lazy Hasbro. Let's chill for Hasbro. All these reviewers saying how good this is. And it's a piece of shit. Like the internet just blew up. It was quite funny. So I know a lot has been made about the price of this. So it's $30 in America. But in the UK, this is cheaper than we thought. So usually with the Amazon exclusives, $30 would be £30, but over here it's gone for $25.99, which is what they're selling like Sentry for. It's what they're selling like the latest What If Wave for. So for us, it's kind of like, yeah, Brandon does look different, doesn't he? I'm Brandon again, don't tell.
Oh shit.
But like, yeah, this is like cheaper for us. This is like the same price as the regular. So I know for the Americans, this is like a bit dearer. They're charging $30, which has been like some controversy again. But for me, I like this design. I think the head sculpts on this look good. I like the Necrosword hand. Could it have come with more? Yes. But I think they cut him back everywhere. I mean, I think you can see this going forward with the Legends. There's going to be less with everything and the price is going up. And as is everything, as is my gas, as is my electric, as is my bottled water. I'll be on tap water for next week. But it's just like, it's everything.
Bottled water. Crazy.
Yeah, it's everything in the minute. But I think obviously it's up to you guys where your level comes to this. Is this TGR? If this is a character you like, maybe like this price is not so bad. If this is a character you've got no interest in, it's probably gonna put people off. Like Capliv said, it ain't worth $30. But that's up to you, because if it's a character you like, you might think this is worth $30. If you've always wanted to go on your shelf type of thing, and if you're in the UK, it is only £25. So it's weighing everything up in it.
I sometimes get a bit of stick on this channel. I get called a shit a lot because I choose. This is a personal choice to try and focus on the positive aspects of my hobby. Like, that's just my personal choice. So I get called a shit a lot because I don't talk about the negative aspects about the price rising and stuff. But I genuinely try and live my life in every aspect, not just toys. Where if I can't personally change or influence something, then I just try not to stress too much about it, especially when stuff is so far out of our control and we don't have all the facts. Like, I hate making opinions and making decisions on things that I haven't got all the facts and details about. And it's weird how like every single person seems to be an expert in the price rises and what Hasbro are doing behind the scenes. Like, none of us know like what's going on, but the bottom line is prices are going up everywhere. And I understand it's very frustrating that we are now paying more for our Legends but getting less. Like, it's very frustrating. Trust me, even I'm frustrated. Like, of course I would like more for our money. Of course I would like every Marvel Legend 2p binless. Of course. But unfortunately, that's not what we've got right now. And if we just all stop supporting the line, then the line will fizzle off and go away. Like, so it's not a case of just like standing our ground saying we can't buy. We just got to be a little bit more selective with our purchases. And if you are someone out there who can genuinely buy everything, then you've obviously got deep pockets anyway. Like, I don't. It seems like I buy everything, but I assure you I don't. Like, there is lots of gaps in my collection. So you do. I have to pick and choose, or wait for sales and stuff like that. But this day and age, you just never know what's even going to land in the sale. So if you really want it, I always say grab it, because you never know if it is going to be around. Because some figures are really cheap on retail and they're clogging shelves, and then they pop up in the MCU. Everyone now decides they love that character, and it goes up on the aftermarket. So again, like, you don't have to buy this. If you're genuinely like, this is too much money for me, then obviously not for you. But like Rich said, in the UK, it wasn't as bad as we thought. There is a link for the UK as well, Amazon US.
Look, you purchased it, Dan. You didn't get sent it by Hasbro. You fake shell.
Yeah,
fake
I know.
shell.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Hasbro. Believe it or not, Hasbro do not send me everything. It's crazy. Yeah, but yeah. So it has an image of his back as well. We hadn't seen his back before. There you go.
Oh, don't show that. Oh my God, no, because that probably looks wrong now as well. It's going to break the internet again.
But yeah, I was surprised when it went up for $30 in the US. I thought, stupid Hasbro conversion rate, this is going to be like 35 for us. But 25 is about the same price as a normal Marvel Legend, but just without the Build-A-Figure piece. And sometimes our Legends at the minute are not coming with any accessories and just the Build-A-Figure piece. So for me personally, sometimes I would sacrifice a Build-A-Figure piece to get an alternative head or something like that. So I do like what we've got in the pack. Is it worth the full amount is a different topic. But what we actually have right there, I actually like. I think it's a great representation of comic gore. I always like options for display. But like you mentioned right at the start of the stream, talking about pins, why are people so stressed with pins, Rich? What is going on in the world? What's stressing people out?
I think the problem is that these renders on the box are not matching. So this is not the first time this has happened. This is about the third one now.
We pointed this out first. This isn't breaking news. Why do people think this is breaking news? We pointed this out on my very first Future Foundation Spider-Man review. We clocked it, didn't we? And I may not have mentioned it in the review, but I did post about it and talk about it on this live stream. So this isn't breaking news. Hasbro have been doing this since the Spider-Man line, where it's a digital render on the front, but the figure's a little bit different.
But I think it's like people are saying like the Hasbro now are trying to trick you, because obviously because you can't see inside the packaging anymore, you're going off the art. So like we're all on the internet, but there's casual people who are not going to be on the internet. Whether casual people are paying $30 for a figure is another thing. But I mean, if you were going just looking at, again, this is different with this one because it is on Amazon, so it is online anyway at the moment. I think it might be going into stores, they said. But looking at this, like from the front, it is why they didn't get that render. If they are going to use these renders, at least get them accurate, which I think is a fair point to make. It's like, if you want that box in packaging, you need to show the product that is actually inside. So like we had Sentry with the wrong hands. We had the Spider-Man, Stealthy Spider-Man had like the white pins instead of the black pins. That was like different on the thing. And then going back before that, even that Ragnarok Thor, they did a change with that from like, which again you pointed out in your review, was they took away a hand and changed the packaging on the inside, but it was all promoted with two hands. So it does seem like these little, like little, but they are cutting back on these accessories or things are changing. And the thing that I think people are missing out on with this is that obviously somewhere along the line, this figure must have been planned to be pinless, because Hasbro wouldn't ask for a render of that, like, for a random thing. Obviously, this has been planned to be pinless at some point, and then things have happened, like obviously costs that have made this, they want to make it cheaper, and they've gone for this old body instead. So, I mean, that's a bit of something I think people should be like paying attention to. There's obviously things going on behind the scenes, but I think Hasbro just need to be more on the ball. I mean, that box is, again, it's just a render of a box, isn't it? It's not like a real box in packaging. It's not even out yet. So they could change that unless he's already been produced with that image on and they can't go back and change it now. We shall see. Because obviously with that Thor, it did change the packaging. It didn't have just a gap where that missing hand should have been. The whole of the inside in train was like remolded, resculpted just to fit the one hand. So let's see if Hasbro pick it up when they reveal it. I mean, I'm sure Amazon will update their pictures. If they do, I'm sure someone at Hasbro should be on it, hopefully. I don't know. But I mean, the Sentry ship, that had the wrong render on the box, didn't it? And did FS Spider-Man as well. So
For the record, I completely agree, by the way. Completely agree. It's like Hasbro need to have the accurate image on the front, whether the figure has pins or not. The product that you are purchasing needs to be accurate on the front of the box. I completely agree with that. So that is something that needs to be addressed. But you know me, since the very first time we had this plastic-free packaging, I have not been a fan, and I've said that every single review since. Like, I've been joking about having a potato, and the paint apps were all wrong. Like, I have been very vocal towards my dislike for the plastic packaging, more so because of these little niggly mistakes with the paint apps or the images on the front of the box not being accurate to the image, to the product inside. So I do think that's a fair criticism. And if I get the opportunity to talk to Hasbro again, it's something, if I'm allowed to, I'll bring up. But I do think it is the first time they're doing plastic-free packaging, and they are going to evolve it. Like, we've seen some of the other Amazon exclusive box sets that are actually pretty good with the original art on the front by actual Marvel artists that are drawing these characters currently. So that is the way to go. Now, whether they can do that for a main Legends line is a different story, but there's improvement to be made
D.
here.
Blake makes donated
D. Blake
$5.
Thank you.
Is it acceptable to add this gore to my symbiotes collection? Thoughts?
Is it acceptable to add this gore to my symbiotes collection? Thought. Thank you very much, D. Blake makes. I know what I think. I'll throw it to you, Rich.
You could kind of like fudge him in there because he's got the Necro sword, I suppose. I mean, he's got on my Asgardian shelf because there's not enough Asgardian villains, I don't think, in the Legend display at the minute. Like, we've had a couple this year, but this gore is going right next to my Thor. That's why I'm putting him.
I say yes, you can, because if you go by the comic lore, the Necro sword is like the first sort of sentient being of the Sentinel, like, not Sentinel, the symbiotes, like, and you can see the symbiote sort of goo there at the end of the Necro sword. So, like, obviously Null wields the sword as well, who is like the king of the symbiotes. So I do think you could fudge him in there. It's one of those, you know, those diagrams where the circles overlap. I do think
Venn diagram.
Yeah, Venn diagram. When it comes to symbiotes and like this guy, I think he fits in the middle because he's wielding the Necro sword, because it is a symbiote essentially. It's not a living being, but it's a sentient being or something like that. I can't remember what it said. It was thoughts.
I do like the Necro sword how it comes out as well. I think they've done quite a good job with that. It looks like the comic books if it's like coming from his hand like it does in the comic. So yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, I like the way that it's actually like sculpted onto the hand as well, because like my Null, he grips his sword, but like it's a bit loose when I want to pose him, and I have to beat. Like, see, it's just fell out of his hand. So I do like that the way that this you could actually pose this guy up, and you ain't got to worry about the sword falling out. Home Dude with a channel membership, he says new packaging makes me discard it, seeing as I can't properly store or display once opened. I agree. I have also not been keeping any of the new plastic-free packaging boxes. I think Brandon cut out the sides and made like little Marvel Legend bookmarks or something like that.
Yeah.
Which looks pretty good if you wanted to keep some element of the packaging. What were you about to say, Rich? Sorry.
I was just saying, I think you've got like some kind of problem with your like hand holding things, because your Hawkman was the same, but mine's fine. Maybe are you pushing it in too hard, Dan? Is that the problem?
Pushing it in too hard. I'll ask Amanda, but the figures ain't holding their weapons, that's for sure. Okay, let's move along. But anyway, for the record, the price points on here, they're on Amazon right now. In the UK, it's $25.99, which is about the same price as a Marvel Legend from the main line at the minute. It's just the only thing that this guy doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. So for me, the price point is about as I would expect for Legends at the minute. Not that saying I agree with the price point. I'm just saying it's as I would expect Legends to be currently. And in the US, they did say on a Screen Rant it would be like 33, something like that. But it's only $29.99. I say only $29. Only Daniel. I shouldn't have said only $29. But I mean, it's $30. So. It's pretty shit. Like, I get it. It needs to, for that price point, that's a deluxe price point, whether it's a bigger figure, more accessories. So I do completely agree with everyone's criticisms. I really do. But I'm just saying, I don't think this is going to be the new norm for at least for a while.
It comes down to your own personal opinion, though, because the thing is, like we've said before, right? The UK at the minute is different than it was like 4, 5, 6 years ago. Like I remember when the Jubilee Build-A-Way figure came along, and I wanted all of them because like Jubilee is the best of all X-Men. But that was a Toys R Us exclusive and Hasbro UK wasn't like importing stuff then. Mm-hmm. And back then they were all £30 a figure, and I paid that for them. That was like 6, 7 years ago, and like I was happy to get that because that was a character I wanted. So I think it comes down to you. I mean, if you're not happy with this, that is a fair opinion to have, but you shouldn't then be like screaming at people who are happy to pay this for characters they want. It's just like everyone's got to decide everything. Like, I mean, all of us got bills to pay, all of us got food. If it comes to like, there's a blooming inflation next year in the UK could be up to 20%. If it's up to that, none of us will be buying Legends. Yeah. But like, I think there is a ceiling with these, especially with like. I think with casual people in the shop, like I don't know how many kids in the shop are going to be going, I want that Legend. No, that's $35. Your mother would be like, no, you can't have that.
These price points definitely speak to the collector for sure, and even the collectors are reluctant to pay these prices. So yeah, it's hurting the line. Like we've been living in the golden age for a while, and I think we said in our chat, or someone you might have said it, as like the end of the golden age. It slowly started fading away as prices go up. It just doesn't have that squeaky clean golden shine anymore. Do you know, like we're like, do you know when you got to pull that face to buy a figure? It's not all that. But as we said, you don't have to buy it. And for me, a Legend with pins. Of course, every Legend without pins would be great. Of course it would. That should be the future. But the Legends team have always been very open about it being a slow transition, and don't expect every single Legend to come out now pinless. They're going to be few and far in between, and that's how they keep the line alive, by reusing parts. And you don't last 20 years at retail if you're not like clever with stuff like this. And at least they're giving us a new character we've never had before. I always try and focus on points like that, and 99% of the figures on my shelf behind me all have pins. So it's not like adding a new character here with pins. He's going to go, oh, look at that guy with pins. He doesn't fit in the collection. Of course he will fit in the collection. He's going to fit in multiple spots. I think it's a great representation of the character. Would it have been better with pins? Yes. But did the pins ruin it? No. Should it have come with more for that price point? Yes. Is the packaging wrong? Yes. Am I still going to buy it? Yes. Am I an idiot? Yes. Am I a shill? Yes. Okay. Whatever you want to say. Whatever makes you happy, all right? You can have your own opinion. Eric Alfred Abel in the chat, as I said, says God looks good. I think I've said that already, but he says it looks good, pins and all. Okay, let's get Cloud in here. Cloud's in the waiting room. Let's bring Cloud in, and we can talk some Ghost Rider, because that's what we want to talk about today. So let me just...
Cat Flames in the chat says that I overpaid for that Jubilee wave. Those figures were kind of whack. They were the best figures. That Strife, that Jubilee, Storm in her like Chris Anker design costume. They were good figures, Cat Flames. What are you on about? I spent my student loan on that.
Here she is, Cloud. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
So first and foremost, anyone watching this stream now, if you have been following the channel for about a year or plus now, easily, you should recognise Cloud Foxwell, regular on Legends of Liquor. I think you've only missed like 2 episodes of Legends of Liquor, right, Cloud? Yeah, 2. Exactly. So only Jamie Gitchard's the man to beat on that with that streak. But still, it's always fun talking toys. You know your stuff. And we needed to call in a favour, Cloud. We're not going to lie, right? Because me and Rich, when it comes to Ghost Rider, I like the character, but as I mentioned to Rich, my knowledge of Ghost Rider is through Wither Stories when he appears or whatever. I've not really dived in deep on any of the Ghost Rider runs or anything like that. So we needed to call in an expert for this comic knowledge, because there's going to be some characters we talk about in this wish list where I'm not going to know too much about. All right, so I need you to help me out. Are you fit for the mission?
I feel like it'll be good. Yeah,
Okay.
Ghost Rider, when I first started reading comics, my mother bought my brother and I 3 subscriptions, and mine were Wolverine, X-Men, and Ghost Rider. And he became, I just looking at him, he was just so cool. Flaming skull, motorcycle, leather, spikes. So I fell in love with him immediately. So most of my knowledge lies in the 90s during Daniel Ketch's run. But I am familiar with a lot of Blaze's stories, a lot of the sideline characters, and recently been trying to get into some of the Robbie Reyes stuff, because my first real experience with him was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And when I first looked at him, I was like, oh, he's got a car. That's not right. They ride bikes. And I was just being a bit of a twat about it. But seeing him on the show, I was like, all right, that's kind of badass. So I started kind of going back and trying to follow some of his stuff.
Well, we are going to do a deep dive, if you will, today with, as I said, heroes, other characters that have portrayed Ghost Rider, villains, allies. We're going to dive deep. We have 15 characters on this wish list. And you put out a poll, right, Rich, on your Instagram, as you do. Did you get a variety, or was everyone very similar with their picks?
It was pretty mixed this one. There was like a couple of people we kind of had like a short list of what we were going with, and we kind of changed a couple up based on what feedback we had. So yeah, sorry if your favorite one is not on. Yeah, we tried to include a varied display, and we did include like the most popular choices as well. So there's obviously, someone out there is going to love someone, but we've got the main ones, I think, and the ones that have a good chance in maybe either being add-ons in a Ghost Rider HasLab or in a retro Ghost Rider wave. Who knows what's coming? Who knows?
Of course. So, and people in the chat know exactly who Cloud is. I can see the fox emojis. People are watching.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this. Okay, so this is why we are talking Ghost Rider Retro, the recently revealed Marvel Legends Ghost Rider Retro card back figure to accompany the foreseeable HasLab, which we are all assuming is the Howl Charger, but we shall see. Time will tell. Ryan Ting has been slowly teasing as he posted an image. Bring Toys to Work, Michael, the super chat. I told him he's not allowed.
Bring Toys to Work donated $25. I know. I'm not supposed to be doing this, but it's Cloud's debut on the Thursday stream. This is a monumentous event. You'll do awesome today, Cloud. I just know it.
Michael is too kind. Thank you very much, Bring Toys to Work. He says, I know, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but it's Cloud's debut on the Thursday stream. This is a momentous event, and you'll do awesome today, Cloud. I just know it. Now, technically, I think you have cameoed on the Thursday before, when I used to do the channel members on the main show, but then we had to create a whole new show for it, which I think was a better idea, to be fair, because I do enjoy Legends and Liquor. But no, we appreciate that, Michael. Get back to work on your display. I know you're a busy man, but we appreciate it. I think Michael's been sharing collectors every weekend. I think this week he was highlighting yourself, right?
That was amazing. That made my morning to wake up to that. He's such a sweetheart. I love this community. You guys are great.
He is. Right. Okay. So as I was saying, Ryan Ting posted this picture on his Twitter and on his Instagram of basically a lot of Ghost Riders. So you've got the retro up top, then you've got the Riders Wave, and then you have the Cosmic Ghost Rider, the Frank Castle version there at the bottom. The only one is missing is the Rhino Wave version if you're talking about modern Hasbro. But he says in the tweet, back at the Hasbro Pulse studio today, recording with a vengeance. So we can only assume they are pre-recording the HasLab reveal video, maybe. We shall see. Dan Yoon has also tweeted saying they're going to be quiet for a few weeks in September, but mid-September, save that dough. And then we know at the end of September we've got PulseCon as well. So Hasbro, it's Hasbro PulseCon. So I do think
Jackie Chan as well.
What'd you say, Rich? Who said that? Which camera? Camera one. So I do think the HasLab is going to be revealed before PulseCon, because PulseCon will just be another opportunity for them to promote. Your boys got your mom. That's new.
Your boys got your mom donated $5. With the seemingly sudden price increase on Gore, I'm concerned about the HasLab price coming at us soon.
Is that Alexi? Has Alexi just changed his name for the donations, or is it? I don't know. Is that Alexi or some mysterious guy? Your boy's got your mum anyway. Thank you very much for the donation. He says, with the seamlessly sudden price increase on Gore, I'm concerned about the HasLab price coming at us soon. Yeah, again, that's another topic we shall find out. Only time will tell. We have been slowly sort of made to believe that this HasLab may be cheaper, because when the question is asked, they always say it's not always going to be that high price point, and they're working on things at a lower price point for the HasLab. It doesn't always have to be like $400. So just quick thoughts on this one. In regards to price, I'm still thinking it's going to be around $250, $300. What do you think, Rich?
I think 300. I don't think it'll be cheaper than 300. That's what I'm, especially with everything going up at the minute. I think 300.
What do you think, Cloud?
I'm gonna agree. I'm expecting 300 at least.
Yeah, it does seem to be Alexi. He just said Streamlabs is fun. So, yeah, I assume it's Alexi. But anyway, Ryan Singh, Dan Yoon, both on Twitter. Go and check them out. They do post and give us some updates. As I said, they like giving us those nuggets. But this is what we're talking about.
They know as well, the higher this price is, the more tweets and YouTube videos they get about it as well. Exactly. They put it 900, the internet will collapse.
Look, remember, Dan and Ryan are both marketers. They're hired to make the Hasbro Legends line known. So that phrase, all publicity is good publicity. So we shall see. Anyway, so this is the figure. Let's talk into a wish list. If they were going to do a full wave of Ghost Rider retro figures, would we like to see these characters? And I'm going to try and put up a poll as we go through these figures here, and just do it real quick and see if we can get to 50 votes each time with over 100 people here. Should be nice and easy, all right? So first one. A very popular choice amongst everybody in the community, Danny Ketch. And let me just zoom in for a minute because I just want to point this out. My head is on fire. My hair is literally on fire. My hair is so buff today. If you put some hairspray in there, I assume that would happen. But there it is. I've got a hot head. Thank you very much, Rich, again, with the beautiful artwork. This is why he is the super producer. But Danny Ketch on Retro Card. Now, obviously, his Ghost Rider does look similar, of course, to the Ghost Rider, as they're both very... As I said, it's the Ghost Rider. It's the flaming guy with a skull head. But he does have a different jacket and a different sort of... They tweak his design a little bit. And maybe we can get a different interchangeable head. Rich, Danny Ketch, are you in? It's just your Ghost Rider. If you, out of all the Ghost Riders, this is the one you know the most. So
Danny Ketch is my Ghost Rider. So there is in the original, in the second volume of X-Men, the X-Men Blue, the Jim Lee run, there is a crossover with the X-Men and the Ghost Rider, and that's the Danny Ketch version with like Gambit and the Brood and stuff like that. So that's where I first picked up on Ghost Rider, and I thought, oh, this character looks really, really cool, and then read the comic books and realized, oh, it's not that cool. But he's still this is how I think of Ghost Rider, and that the one that was just revealed on the retro card, it was kind of there because it's in this colours, but it's not this uniform. It hasn't got the spikes on it. It hasn't got that. So then I'm like, are they going to do this again when they've kind of done these colours on the Johnny Blaze? And I know that comes from the recent Kings of Hell storyline where he's kind of in those colour uniform. But I mean, I think this is the one that we all wanted. We've had a million Johnnies. We wanted a Danny or Danny Ketch, as my spell checker kept correcting to all the time when I was going to Cloud. I do know Danny Ketch is.
Mike Hex has donated the dollar and said, I'd say Lilith because she's in the new Ghost Rider game coming soon. Venom Lilith's head is weird, by the way. Maybe we will get to her. Stay tuned. This is only the first one revealed on the list. All I'm going to say is stick around, Mike. You may find something you like. But Clouds, same question to you. Is Danny Ketch your Ghost Rider?
Yeah, this is 100% my Ghost Rider. And he's not the coolest Ghost Rider, but he's the first one I fell in love with. I love his design. I love the spiked bracers that he wears. While I'm looking at this image, I'm thinking the one that they unveiled, the Johnny Blaze didn't use the chain at first. So the fact that he's kind of got that on him is a little weird to me, because that was a Danny Ketch thing. I know he eventually gets that down the line, but I feel like at first he was just he shot hellfire out of his hands. So the flaming skeleton hands is perfect, but the chain's not super accurate. I kind of hope there's a way to maybe slit that off of him.
You can.
But I see that and I immediately think Danny Ketch. But the colors are similar, so I see why people look at it and they're like, oh, maybe I could kind of fudge it. But he's different enough. He's got the fold over jacket. He's got a lot of spikes on him. He's got a band of spikes on the top of his boots too, I think.
It's like a punked out Ghost Rider, isn't it? It's like Ghost Rider with a bit of punk added to it, I guess.
I'm a total metalhead. and this just screams like death metal to me.
Love
it.
Thank you to Mark Tac for the 79p, my friend. Did you not want to say anything? Just throwing me 79p. I appreciate that, Mark. I see you and I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so I've put a poll up in the chat, by the way. So there is a poll live right now. Quite simply, would you like the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider on the Marvel Legends retro card? We're going to leave that until we can get to 50 votes, all right? So 10 more votes, people. So if you are watching this live, I think you can do it on your phone. Can you vote on your phone? I don't know. Someone let me know in the chat. Does it work on an iPhone, or do you have to be on a computer or a laptop? Either way, if you are watching the live chat, you should have an option to vote. Would you like Danny Ketch on the Ghost Rider Marvel Legends HasLab? And we can see who gets the biggest yes throughout this evening. As I said, we've got 15 of these to go through. Danny Ketch is an easy one to start off. Obviously, we didn't have Johnny because we've already got Johnny, of course. That's the one that we've been revealed and you can pre-order right now. So Danny Ketch, of course, had to be next up. So far, a lot of people are saying yes because it's 85% yes. And I do think if you're our sort of age bracket, then Danny Ketch is going to be your Ghost Rider because that's what you were reading. If you were picking up comics off the shelf during the 90s, this was who Ghost Rider is. But if you're like me who had to go backwards, then I would have went back to, as I said, Johnny Blaze. I went back to the original. And they called the first one. We spoke about this already, but the very first one they've changed to the Phantom Rider now, isn't it? The white guy.
Yeah, but that was like retroactively. Like the first Ghost Rider was Johnny Blaze, and then the Phantom Rider existed, but then they made him like into like us. He had like one of the spirit. Did he have the Spirit Avengers cloud, or was it a bit different? But yeah, they kind of retroactively made him fit in. Yeah. Okay,
I've ended the poll, and obviously, overwhelmingly, 82% said yes. All right, so I'm going to make a note of that and put that next to Danny Ketch, and let's see who gets the highest percentage throughout today's stream. As I said, this is free market research for the Legends team. You're welcome. Okay, next up.
So I do want to say, like, I understand a lot of people want these with the motorcycles.
Yeah.
And yes, like, I love catching
bike. One sec, hold that thought about the motorcycles. Mark Tac's back again.
TAK Toys with Film donated £4.49. Ghost Rider does look the great lead singer of a band. I agree with Cloud.
Well, he's agreeing with you, Cloud, because Mark says Ghost Rider does look like a great lead singer of a band. I agree, Cloud. So yeah, Mark's right there with you. But carry on. Your thought about the
Spirits of Vengeance.
There you go. That's a great name as well. It probably is a band name.
They'll tour with, like, I don't know, what's that band with the makeup? Ghost. They'll tour with them.
Kiss. Is Kiss?
Kiss too, sure.
Yeah.
Just the guy like, dresses like a death metal. Oh,
there with their
I'm not familiar, but so I like his bike. But that being said, if they're still going to give us these characters just by themselves on the cards, I'm all in on getting them on the shelf. I'd rather have Danny Ketch like this than not at all.
Beautiful. All right, next up. Okay, so Rich, you'll have to say this name for me because I'm just going to mess it up.
Alejandra Jones.
Say that right? Okay, cool.
Alejandra, yeah.
So she was the girl that was like raised in a tomb.
She was, the Ghost Rider for like 10 minutes in Fear itself. She didn't last very long of all the Ghost Riders. She was a bit of a different Ghost Rider. She was a bit more like edgy, and she like had been trained, didn't she, to take over to get the Spirit of Vengeance. Like, she was trained to become and take the powers away, but it was a very quick run for Alejandra. And then she met a demise by, I think it was Carnage, wasn't it? I think Carnage killed her off.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so Cloud, would you want this in figure form? A female Ghost Rider is at least a unique thing for figures.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I had no idea who this was until like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was looking up an unrelated character, and they dropped her name, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, but I love the design. Her bike is awesome too. She looks really cool, and give me any character I like in female form, sold. Wolverine, Ghost Rider, I'm in.
But again, a unique twist because is she the only female Ghost Rider, the only one to be referred to as Ghost Rider?
I think there's some alternate versions, and I think Taboo has just introduced like a female Ghost Rider, the guy from the Black Eyed Peas as well, in like a one shot. But I think he was the first one in the comic books, and again, she had like a crossover issue with the X-Men, and that's where I first like saw her as well. And I was like, oh, let's check out this series. No, this is shit too.
would you? So we know you've got a love for female figures as well, Rich. Is this someone you would add to the collection if it was released on a retro card?
So we got a couple of females coming up in this list. I would say Alejandra would be the bottom of that list. Like I wouldn't be against her. I find if she was released, I would buy her and put her on my shelf. But she's not in my like top 500 Marvel females that I need anyway.
Shout out Kismic, who just subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're watching live now. If you are, let me know in the chat. But thank you all the same. The chat, I have put a poll up again for Alejandra here. 60% so far saying yes, with a few more votes to go, which is quite strong. But again, it's all about the character design here. At the end of the day, these are toys, and I do think a female Ghost Rider on the shelf would be quite toyetic and different to anything we've had before. We haven't had her in figure form ever, and it is always nice adding brand new characters to the shelf. When I looked at this picture when you first sent it, Rich, it looked like she just had a foot as a hand. If I could...
Yeah, she has got one JH.
Like she's holding a weapon, doesn't she? But from distance, it looks like a bionic foot. And I was like, what a weird power set. She would just kick people with a swing of her fist. You just punched me. Oh, wait, you kicked me? It just makes no sense. Very confusing.
It's so she can press that accelerator and still kick people in the head. That's what it was, isn't it?
All right, I'm ending the poll. We have 61%, which is pretty strong here. But not as strong as Danny Ketch. So he's still in the lead with 82 here with our early vote. So 61, just going to take a note of that before we move on to another Ghost Rider that people may be a little bit more familiar with. Cloud said you are currently reading Robbie Reyes. So you are currently reading it, Cloud. You're catching up. What do you think? Do you want him on retro card, or do you reckon he's coming in another way?
I still think this is going to be the HasLab, but if it ended up being something completely different and they offered him on a retro card, yes, 100%. Again, this one is probably better to do as a HasLab because of the Charger. Bikes are so much smaller, maybe they can kind of bring back the Rider's Wave, but this is something that, like, if you're going to try and pair these characters with their vehicles, it has to be done in a big way because he needs that car. There's so much going on with it, with like the portal to hell in the trunk and things like that. I like his design. I like how the skull is almost mechanical looking, and I like that his jacket is reminiscent of Johnny Blaze's with that kind of shape on it. I think that's a nice touch too. It's a good callback to the original Ghost Rider.
Yeah, this guy's inevitable in figure form. They showed off those accessories he's holding in his hand right now at San Diego Comic-Con. Unpainted, but they were there. What do you think, Rich? Is this inevitable for the HasLab, or will we see him some other form?
I think from all the hints we've had, I think, yeah, he's definitely in the HasLab. I think it's probably like 90% sure it's going to be the Hell Charger. Because I think as well, like we mentioned Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before, and Robbie's look in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is this in live action form. He gets the Hell Charger as well. So again, at that show was seen by like millions of people. It might not be everyone's favorite show, but there always seems like a lot of love when you mention it online. So I think like you get that crossover wide appeal as well, which HasLabs I think need. It's not just appealing to the core collector. They need to bring in a lot more people, as we've seen like other ones not funded. It needs to appeal to like a wide set of people. And I think of the Ghost Rider figures, this is probably the one that's going to bring it in, and it can charge that bit more of a price point because it's a car, not a bike, because we've seen bikes at retail.
Exactly. Yeah. I completely agree with everything you're saying. So let's just say all this is true. The HasLab is Robbie Reyes, right? Is it a wise idea to put him on a retro card as part of the HasLab? So you get the HasLab, you get the Hell Charger, and then Robbie Reyes, the figure, is on a retro card as part of the HasLab. Or is that frustrating because obviously people are going to need to open him to go with the car? I'm just curious. Cloud, do you think that's a good idea, putting him on the retro card as part of the HasLab?
Sure. It doesn't matter to me because he's getting opened up and going in the car. But I feel like they would know that people would want these to display them in the retro card. I don't think they would do that.
But as well, you've got to think is that the HasLab a Hell Charger is not really like a wave builder. You don't really want, you only can buy one Hell Charger. You're not going to want multiples of them. Whereas if you put characters like this, people would then want like to keep on card, when to not, and that way you could get people to buy two. I mean, I'm just thinking like Hasbro. I'm not saying that's a good thing. Point. But as well, it's like people who got like the Razor Crest, those figures came carded, I think, didn't they? And I think people have sold them off to fund part of that. So again, if you had 3 figures in here on cards, if you weren't too keen on two of them, like if Alejandra came with this like wave, but you could sell that for £70, then you can get a bit of money back, that kind of thing. So
and the last HasLab, the His Tank, the final unlock was a retro carded Cobra Commander with like the unique deco on it. So they're not scared of doing it, and like you said, it is another point.
None of the Marvel ones all have been carded so far. They've all just been in the box. That's what I think we need to point out as well, isn't it? They haven't done this route so far.
Just an idea, that's all. I'm going to end the poll. The poll, not as popular as Danny Ketch. It ended with 79% for Robbie Reyes. So I'm going to write that down. So far, out of the 3 alternative Ghost Riders we have here, the 3 main story Ghost Riders, Danny Ketch is still the most popular, at least amongst the people that are watching live right now. Okay, so we've talked about some Ghost Rider characters. Let's get into those side characters, as allies of Ghost Rider, if you will. And this is where my knowledge starts to fade away, as I may recognise a character design, but I'm not going to be able to give you the details. So first up, the Caretaker. Now, who wants to take this one? Who can give me some information about Caretaker? Do you know, Cloud?
I know a bit. Yeah, he's been around for an incredibly long time. He was a major character when I was reading. He's kind of like what do I want to call it? He's not a sidekick, like Alfred. If Alfred was a badass,
like mysterious mentor type of thing.
Yeah,
like,
is he like Blade's Whistler?
I guess you could say that. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm just simplifying it for myself. He looks like a gravedigger. Is he a gravedigger?
He hangs out in the cemetery.
Yeah, well, there you go. I've clocked that straight away. I love adding new characters to the shelf. And what's fun about new characters is that you learn about them. Like, if I get a figure and I don't know who it is, I do some research. I go digging. I go reading. And then if it intrigues me, I dig a little bit more. And I introduce myself to other things I didn't know about. So I'm always happy to get to be introduced to characters by the medium of action figures. That's never been something I've disliked. So a new character always intrigues me, so put it on a retro card, or again, I'm a sucker for that type of stuff anyway. But yeah, I'd be game. And the character design is simple enough, but again, it's on theme with Ghost Rider. I could tell straight away he was like some sort of gravedigger. What do you think, Rich? Is it someone you'd want?
Yeah, I would like Caretaker. Like, again, he is like that. When I think of Ghost Rider, he's the character I think of more. Like, in modern times, there is like a female Caretaker, I think, at the minute. I think it's his granddaughter, Sarah or Sarah, depending on where you live in the world. But this is like one I've always seen with Ghost Rider. So, I mean, we've always had those like weird characters that have never had a figure before in the HasLab so far. So, like, we had Bastion and the Prime Sentinel with the Sentinel. We had Morg, who's never had a figure before, as well as updated Frankie. Oh,
no, it's all good. It's a channel. You're good. Carry on.
So we've had we had Frankie Ray, and then like a Silver Surfer, I suppose, was a redo. So they've kind of done new characters we haven't had before. And I just think like Caretaker, would it sell in a wave? Probably not. But as like an add-on, as a bonus in like a Ghost Rider wave, might be a good add-on.
I think about like how they would work in the display too, and I have. If you guys have seen like pictures of my wall, there's the 2 spaces between the 3 shelves. So it's the Sentinel and Galactus. So I have no idea where this car is going. So I'm thinking if that's what it ends up being, it's just going on the floor in front of the middle display. And then behind it, I'm just going to put like all like street level characters. And I could see like a figure of Caretaker just kind of like with his shovel over his shoulder leaning against the hood of the car or something. It would look so cool in the display. And he's so important to their story. I think we need him if we're going to like get into a Ghost Rider line. Whether or not they're going to do him is another thing. I feel like they would focus on the riders and then like the bad guys.
What I like about collecting and building displays in the first place is that world building on your shelf. That is essentially what you're doing. So you need those side characters. You can't just have all the main guys. Like, you need those side characters to create those worlds and just like it makes for a better display. So they need to find a way to get some of these other characters out. Mini Plastic Multiverse with the channel membership token, he says, I think if they do the HasLab figures carded, they need to release their variant boxed at some point later. That's how Star Wars HasLabs have worked so far. So yeah, I think he's right where the ones in the HasLab have been re-released but on a different box or a different image on the box. So at least people have the opportunity to get the figures somewhere else, but at least there's something unique to the HasLab version. So it would be interesting to see. Again, like Rich said, I don't think Hasbro will go in that direction because so far they've all been packed in with the figure. But this is the first time we're getting a vehicle. Different opportunities for packaging now, so we shall see. Okay, chat.
I wonder though. One of the things I wonder though with this HasLab this time is whether they'll do that. You know that bonus early order figure that the Joes did. Like, I mean, that might be a way to get another one into the line.
If they're clever,
I mean, yeah, and it should be someone good.
With the G.I. Joe HasLab was the only one to include 4 figures, which is pretty good. Like, it makes you feel better at that initial price point. 4 figures and the vehicle. Hasbro so far, I've always gave us 3 figures, which is decent, but then there's always that one tier that no one wanted. Like, is anyone out there actually going to use that Doom head on their One Galactus? Anybody? Hello? Anyone out there? I don't know.
There was someone said that they really liked it, wasn't there? There was someone in the chat.
Maybe there is.
They're out there.
But my point is, there's always that one sort of unlock that is fine, but people want another figure. So Hasbro, if you're listening, just make all the unlocks figures. That's all we need, all right? You give us the car, and make sure Robbie Reyes is with the car. You can't give him as an unlock. That's cheating. After that, every unlock figures, please. That's what I want anyway. Maybe, I think Rush has had some good ideas with the display base and the flames trailing off and stuff like that. But we shall see. Again, a couple of weeks away now. Right, I'm ending the poll for the caretaker. He has ended with 75%, which is pretty good. Considering a few people in the chat I could see said they didn't particularly know who he was, but I think we convinced them otherwise. Okay, so let's keep going. Next one, Son of Satan. Now, this isn't like the son of Mephisto. This is like the legit son of Satan, right?
Well, they backtracked a bit. It turned out it was just another demon because I think being Satan might have put off the Mothers of America from buying a Damon Hellstrom comic book.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is Damon Hellstrom, who is the son of Satan, but he debuts in Ghost Rider. In Ghost Rider issue 1, I think he showed up first.
Hang on, hasn't Hellstrom had a TV show?
It does.
Didn't last very long. It was supposed to be like a whole mystical universe. I think there was even supposed to be like a Ghost Rider series in there, weren't they, on Hulu? But I think when they got rid of Jeff Lobb from Marvel TV and like Kevin Feige took over and then all the Disney Plus shows started it, they kind of like it went by the wayside.
Pretended that one didn't happen. Is it on Disney Plus? Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it's on the Star Network with us. I think it's in Hulu for you guys in America, but it's on Disney Plus Star with us.
So that guy Hellstrom is this guy here, the son of Satan.
Yes.
And is that show any good? Is it worth a watch?
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen because, and we'll get into this. I don't
know, Cloud. I don't know.
It was one of those things like I know a little bit about who this character is, so I wanted to watch it, and they just kind of kept pulling it in different directions, like they were very lazy about it, and it was supposed to lead into Ghost Rider was supposed to have his own show on Hulu at one point, and I am so bummed that they're not doing that.
And that was the Robbie Reyes character as well from Thingy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like Gabriel.
And then they were taking him and then using the story in Hellstrom and using the story in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and kind of building that to get his own show. And I remember one of my friends told me, they're making a Ghost Rider show. And I was just like, yeah, okay. Well, I'll believe it when it happens because this is going to get canceled because that's what happens with all these damn Hulu shows.
Yeah. Okay, well, moving away from the TV for a second, just the character itself. In figure form, definitely not a character I think we've had. If I have, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But Rich, you were talking, so tell me what you know and would you want him in figure form?
Yeah, so this would be one of my most wanted ones. So Son of Satan and our next figure would be my 2 most wanted. And again, he's got a direct tied to Ghost Rider in that he debuted in Ghost Rider before spinning off. He served on like with Ghost Rider in like the Spirits of Vengeance. He's been like always connected to that like the horror supernatural side of the Marvel universe. So this is like his classic look. His modern look is kind of like he loses the cape and he gets like leather black pants and his tattoo glows a bit more and he's got better hair, but otherwise it is more or less shirtless Damon all the time. He's like this like rock god of the Marvel universe. Like he married Hellcat at one point as well, who is now like dating Tony Stark in the comic books. But yeah, he's been around. Patsy, he's been around forever. never had a legend, and long overdue a legend. I mean, I would love this figure. If this figure and the next one were part of this Ghost Rider wave, I would buy them. But again, they're not like I think in people's minds they're not like Ghost Rider characters, if you get what I mean. You wouldn't think guy on a motorcycle. I don't think Son of Satan to the public at large would be the character they think of. So I wonder, will it be? But then we had, like I said, we had a character like Morg, who wasn't like the best known of all of Galactus's heralds.
Galactica would be nice.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica, that coming soon from Hasbro. But yeah, Son of Satan would be a great character to get, and I would be happy with this look. Like I think Capliv said he likes the modern look more. I'd be happy with that as well. Just give me a Son of Satan, thank you.
Before we go to Cloud, just looking at the chat real quick. Ten Bone says, "Howls to the yeah," pun intended. He also said, "Defenders." He's one of the classic Defenders. 1-6 Shooter Trevor used the channel membership token. Thank you very much, Trevor. He says, "How yes, Son of Satan is a must." Jay's Toys Collection UK also says 100% on this one poll. Come on, people. The poll is live. Would you like to see Son of Satan on a Ghost Rider retro card? So far, with 79% of the vote. Chica Monkey Kiara also pops in and says, "Hey, Who Crew, it's Dan, Rich, and Cloud." Yes, it is today. Someone's just knocked at my door. Hello, what do you want? We're talking... Who knocked my door? No one. That was a ghost. I just heard my door knock as we're talking Ghost Rider.
Spooky.
Amanda says it wasn't her.
It's the spirit of vengeance.
That was weird. 100% someone just knocked my door. I reckon it was her. Okay, but over to you, Cloud. Son of Satan. Would you want it in figure form? Would it work for the retro?
Yes. They definitely would not call him the Son of Satan on the package. It would probably be like Damon Hellstrom or something.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. We know who it is. It's like Holocaust and Nemesis. We know who it is. It doesn't matter what you call him.
Yeah.
But I get why they would change it. I do like his modern look, but I would prefer this one in figure form on the shelf, because it's that the first time I ever saw him, this is what he looked like. Very classic. I'd like this. I feel like with the cape and everything, he would just kind of stand out a bit. As much as I hate the cape sometimes, I was trying to find space for him, he would just look weird to me without it.
As long as they don't give us a cape like, what's his name? The Hood. With that, just,
oh my god!
It needs to be a little bit better than the Hood. Maybe don't give him just the screaming head as well, because that guy doesn't look like the Hood. Norman Nomad in the set chat says, "Dan, you're losing it. Look, this is recorded live to live on YouTube. Someone play back, zoom in, enhance the sound." Someone knocked on my door. It happened. Disavowed says, "Nomad, what's up?" The Fossils in the chat as well. He says, "Seems like a good tier 2 for the HasLab Ghost Rider." And again, the HasLab is an opportunity to put out characters that you probably wouldn't get away with in the main line for whatever reason, because Hasbro know that the HasLab is for the collector market, so they can probably blur the lines a little bit to the consumer. Okay, the poll for this one, I'm ending this. High vote on this one, but not as high as Danny Ketch. So Danny Ketch is still in the lead, but 80% of the chat out there would like Son of Satan on a retro card. Now, of course, we're just using the retro card as a gimmick, but when we talk about these characters, we're just sort of basically asking the question, would you like this figure? That's what we're asking. But Rich has done a great job with the retro card. Now, was it Harry Moore? He's going to be checking behind him for Rich now. He'd be like, "What's going on?" Like, that's my job.
I didn't steal Harry Moore. This is the original ones that I had
I know.
I had to fill back in bits because I had like a ripped card.
No, I'm just saying it's good. That's what I'm saying.
This is what I do my weekends, rebuilding the Toy Biz cards.
We appreciate it. All right, let's keep going. Next one. Satana. Am I saying that right? Satana? Okay. Someone tell me about this, because it looks like a female devil horn. Another demon? Speak to me. Do you know this one, Cloud?
A little. I think Rich can gush.
Okay. Rich.
Satana is my most wanted one on this list. Now, we have had a Satana Marvel Legend before. In her black costume, she was part of the Thunderbolts STCC set.
Oh, okay. Now
this boobylicious version of Satana, this is her modern look. So with a red costume, with her white hair and her horns, and this is the look that I want most. Like, again, boobs. Hasbro don't tend to be a big fan of showing the boobs. Like, we had
usually.
No, they had like the Emma Frost like in that pack, but as a convention exclusive. So as a HasLab, maybe we can get the boobs out. I would love this Zatanna. This would be my most wanted figure in this wave. She just looks awesome, and she'd look great in a display. Like, she's been good, she's been evil. She tends to like play the characters for her own means at different points. She's been part of like the Sons of Vengeance and Defenders as well, but she's and part of the Thunderbolts as well. So she's been all around the Marvel universe and just a really great character. She's had a number of looks. Like I said, we've had that black, more classic look in the Thunderbolt set. She also had like cloven hooves back in the day. She had like in Witches, she had like an updated like edgy design where she had like a headband, like Mike Diodato. So loads of different looks, but this is the one I would want, and I would back a HasLab if you put this in. Thanks, Hasbro. Cheers.
Tenbo's in the chat also says it's Damien's sister. So is this Hellstrom's sister? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So she's also in that show then as well, right?
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's even what they do to her is even worse than what they do to Damon.
Okay.
She is nothing.
That's
like
why
this.
Rich don't like it. Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know. No boobs on that show. That's what we know.
No boobs. No boobs at all.
Okay, so the poll is live for this one, and I'd have a feeling that this one may be popular, boobs and all. Okay, so obviously this is Rich's most wanted so far, at least. What about you, Cloud?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Especially if we get Damon, I'd want Zatanna to go with him. I love the horns. I love her look. I love the boobs. All of it. Yeah, she's definitely on my. It's not even a short list. It's a very long wish list for Ghost Rider characters. But she's on there as well.
If we think about it, right, every HasLab, Marvel Legend HasLab so far, now granted there's only been 2, but the Sentinel, they even found a way to give us a female in that with the female Sentinel Prime, and then they gave us Nova, in Frankie Nova, in the Galactus, which is another female. So both HasLabs, they have tried to throw in a little sprinkle of diversity with a female character. So when we think Ghost Rider, maybe they'll find a way to get some sort of female character, whether it is who we've already shown or this one here.
Yeah, this is the one I want most, but I think the female character that they do is coming up in a bit if you keep waiting. I think they're going to go in that direction, but this would be the one I would pick. But I'm not in charge of Hasbro, sorry.
Yeah, well, Hasbro, if you want Rich's money, then you know how to make it happen, all right? Whether it's a HasLab or not. But I'll let the poll go for a little bit longer. Get a few more votes in there. When it gets to 50, I'm then going to end it. But so far, she seems to be the popular choice unless we get some votes in the opposite direction. But just a simple yes or no. Would you like her on a retro card or just in figure form? I didn't realise we had her in Legends form before until you said that, Rich. But then it just obviously clicked. But she's not wearing the red. That's why my brain didn't connect the two together. And I don't have that box set either. That was one that I missed. That was a 2016 maybe.
You got Ghost, or didn't you? Dante sent you.
Yeah, I got Ghost. I got Ghost for the Thunderbolts, and obviously we've had re-releases of Luke Cage. We've had re-releases of Crossbones. We've had re-releases of Magic. Not Magic. It was Moonstone was the other girl, and we've never had another Moonstone, even though we've got the Moonstone body, which is ridiculous. Magic was in the Book of Vishanti exclusive, but it was a San Diego exclusive. I'm just mixing the two up. Okay, cool. All right, I'm ending the poll. 88%. So she has knocked out Danny Ketch for the most wanted character in Ghost Rider form. So obviously, a lot of people on your wavelength, Rich, which I'm not surprised because it is your fan club in the chat in the first place. So 88%. For that one. Nice one. Okay, so one more Ghost Rider ally before we get into some nemesises, villains. And I do think this one's going to be a popular choice as well, all right? So, and I think all of us can talk about this guy. It's Blade. Now, Hasbro have given us a couple of Blades in recent times, but none of them have really been the one that we all want. The last one came in the 2017 Man-Thing Netflix crossover Build-A-Figure wave, and it was a comic Blade, but it was sort of a more modernized version of Blade, and the articulation was a bit off. It just didn't sit right. It wasn't a Blade. It wasn't people's mind's eye of Blade. People would much appreciate this sort of style for Blade in figure form. We had the Epic Heroes. Well, we were meant to get an Epic Heroes one as a variant of Ghost Rider, which never happened. And then we have had some in the Toy Biz days as well. I think he was in the Riders Toy Biz race. He came with a bike, didn't he? I think back in them days. But yeah, I think he came with a bike on the Toy Biz days. But a classic looking like Blade here we haven't had. Do you know, the red t-shirt and the all black outfit we haven't had? I'm sure people want this one, so I'll throw it to you while I put up the poll. Rich, Blade.
So this blade makes the Trinity. We found this blade on the Ghost Rider card, on the Spider-Man card, and on the regular Marvel Legends card. We just want this blade made, to be honest with you. Like, this is Blade's classic 90s look. I think it's the look from the Spider-Man animated series as well. Again, he's crossed over with Ghost Rider many times again, Sons of Vengeance. Like, they've always been kind of together.
Now as well, right?
Midnight Suns as well, yeah. So, I mean, I know he's, again, Blade is like his own thing, and obviously there's a movie coming out. I think we will get a Blade figure at some point. But, you know, if you're going to do a Ghost Rider wave, chuck him in there. Just chuck Blade anyway. I don't really care. Fantastic Four card, put him on anything. I'll just take him.
I didn't realise that, but you're right, because I could see him on a spot. He was, was the Punisher? I can't remember if he
Blade was on a Spider-Man card as well.
Back in the day.
The classic. Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. So it would make sense for a Spider-Man card, but he's a dark sort of character. He has those connections, so a Ghost Rider card would work. Like Rich said, at any point now, just find a way to get us a new Blade out there. People want it. Cloud, do you want it?
Yes, this is the version of Blade I've been holding out for. I saw the previous one. It wasn't a look that I was super familiar with. I almost caved and picked him up. Just to have a representation of him on the shelf. But every time I heard a review about it, just people had too many negative things to say. So that, coupled with the fact that I'm just not into that look as much, I passed on him. I want this one. I want the flat top, the spikes on his shoulders, the leather and the red, and the way and again, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, it doesn't matter. Throw him in any of those cards and I'd be happy.
This is the version from the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure wave. He's just got a soft good cape on here from, I think this is from Cosmic Capes in the UK, where they sent me out a jacket, and that's how he's posed up on my shelf currently. And it has got bendy wire in the jacket as well, so it does make him appear a little bit more toyetic on a display. It's just that he's standing next to people at the minute. But that's me sprucing up the Marvel Legend Blade we have got, but like we're all saying, we definitely want a new Marvel Legends Blade. Just somehow find a way, Hasbro. Look, the chat have spoken so far. Let me have a look at the poll. Okay, I'm about to end the poll. A few more votes, people. Yes or no? Would you like a new Marvel Legends Blade, whether it's on the Ghost Rider card or not? We've got 94% so far. So, literally, we've got a new leader already. So, Danny Ketch, we led for a while. Then Satana, and now Blade. I'm going to end it with 94% of the vote. So Blade on retro card is now the most wanted. 94 is a high number after 50 votes. So the people, if Hasbro, if you're lurking, 94% is a high number of these Legend consumers. All right. So the people have spoken. We would like a new Marvel Legends Blade, please. So let's get into some villains. Of course, we need Ghost Rider to be able to fight some demons. We need some bad guys. So let's start off with probably the most requested bad guy, demon Marvel Legend, Marvel character in Legends form. I think there's only one person in the chat that doesn't want this guy, and his name is Super Turk 5000 because he recently brought the select version on. But it is, of course, the guy who did everything. He's responsible for everything that happened in WandaVision. It was Mephisto all along. Anything goes wrong. If I think it was Mephisto just knocked my door. To be fair, it was creepy, and someone definitely heard it. But Mephisto on retro card now. Again, Legends, everyone has their own sort of opinion on this. Everyone assumes that Legends can't do this character because he resembles the devil. But that's just rumor and innuendo and speculation. That's never been publicly said by anybody who represents Marvel Legends or Hasbro. So, as far as we know, this character is still on the cards in a figure form because all they're going to do is put Marvel's Mephisto. Do you know, they're not going to put the devil. They're not going to, do you know, they're going to put Marvel's Mephisto. That's how they'd release him. I reckon he's on the table. And he may be on the table for this HasLab. We shall see. But as whether it's on retro card or not, do we want Mephisto? Cloud, I'll throw it to you.
Yes. Mephisto, I think this is something most of us have wanted for a really long time. He's obviously a very big character in the Ghost Rider comics, but I mean, he's kind of got his hands in numerous spots in the Marvel Universe.
He's the guy responsible for Ghost Rider, right? He's the one who gives Johnny Blaze does a deal with Mephisto to save his dad, right?
And he uses the. I don't want to get into the later list. There's another character that he uses to kind of make Johnny Blaze into the Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was him that did that. I like his look without the cape a little bit more. I'd be cool with either, and I really feel like the best place to give us this character is in the HasLab. If there is any kind of worry about this character not being taken well out on shelves for whatever reason, the way he looks, his name, this is a great opportunity to get us this character that everybody's been clamoring for a long time. Just throw him in as the last unlockable. I don't care. Like, as long as we can get Mephisto in the collection.
I do think this is a great, even from marketing aspects, like, this is a great tier 4 unlock. Like, if you really want people to put their hand in their pocket and make something worth it, a figure we wouldn't get elsewhere. There you go. And Compulsive Collectors become a channel member. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. He uses channel membership token to say no to including it in the HasLab, but yes to a Mephisto and a Magma Date Night 2-pack. So let's throw it to Rich. Mephisto, Rich. Do you want him? Is he happening?
Yeah, and 100%. I think this would be a great, like you said, this would be a great tier. Like, whether it's tier 4, tier 1, I think this would draw people in.
This could be the early bird tier. Just think how quick they would fund.
But I mean, like, and he's not the most, like, most, you would need the most sculpting with Mephisto to, like, make him as well. He's just, like, you know, a big demon guy with a cape. You need to be pinless, though. Please make him pinless.
Yes.
Oh, the internet would
waited
rage.
long enough. No pins.
The internet would rage if he wasn't pinless.
But yeah, I mean, like, he's long overdue a figure. Again, like, that select that, like, Tanner has got and no one else has. I mean, that is, like, one that sells for a lot now. It's not a figure they've ever done in Hasbro or Toy Biz. We've never had the Mephisto. And he ties into so much of the Marvel Universe as well, not just the Supernatural, like, to Spider-Man, like, to the X-Men, like, Dating Magma in the Zeb Wells, New Mutants run and stuff like that.
That's what Compulsive Collector is.
He just shows up, like, everywhere all over the Marvel Universe. And like Rob Pollock and Craig have been saying in the chat as well, there is that Midnight Suns game coming out this year as well. So that's going to push the, like, supernatural side of the Marvel Universe out there as well. So whether not on the HasLab or the retro cards, maybe we'll get Gamerverse versions of some of these characters as well. So there seems to be a focus pushing into that supernatural side. You've got the Blade movie coming out as well. So there's definitely scope for more of these characters, because it does seem to be an area that Hasbro has shied away from doing more of these supernatural characters. I think there's, like, you could get, like, whole waves of these characters out there if you wanted to for Halloween next year, 2023. There you go. Sorted you for October 2023 next year. You're welcome, Hasbro.
So he needs to be this big.
Yeah.
He's the biggest character. He needs to be that tall.
I've just jumped on eBay real quick, just out of curiosity to see how much he's currently going for. So there's one there that says loose with thrown free read, so I imagine like a leg's broke or something like that. But down here, you're looking at £150, £169, and I was scrolling and I couldn't even find one mint on card. So yeah, he's not easy to obtain. So start throwing Tanner, Super Turk 5000 your bids, because yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at the list. Can I have a look at the sold listings? So far in the poll, by the way, I didn't think Blade would be beaten, but at 50 votes, he is 96%. People have said yes. I'm going to end that real quick at 50 votes. So yeah, 96% of people want Mephisto. Right, I'm going to sold listings real quick. Okay, so one sold for 60. That's not bad. Was that you, Tanner? 1st of September? No, that must have been 55 there. 72 sold on the 5th of August. One sold for £12 without his throne. That's a bargain right there. We missed out on that one, gentlemen.
Is that sold or is that still live?
No, these are all sold listings. Look, there's one here.
£12.
Yeah, so there's one on mint on card that sold in July for £171.87p.
Whoa.
There's one adult owned that sold for basically the same amount, but not on card. One that got best offer accepted, 200. Anyway, so Hasbro, if you're lurking, people clearly want Mephisto, and people are giving a lot of money to Marvel Select, all right? Diamond don't need your money. You need it for the HasLab, all right? Make it happen, all right? So there you go. 96% of the vote. Mephisto had to be the first villain. and he is 96% of people. I said no one's going to be Blade. No one's beating Mephisto, all right? Only 3% of the people said no. So that's probably one person or whatever the maths is.
Unless there's somebody on this list that everybody wants, I think we have a winner.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm writing that down. 96%. Impressive. Teddy, did you knock my door, by the way? Oh, he's run off again. He was around. Okay, so Mephisto. Don't ask me how, but he has children, and this is one of them. I think it is anyway. Blackheart. Blackheart's his son, right? It is his son.
Yeah, Blackheart's his son.
Good. So Black, we have. Did we have him in the Toy Biz days?
Yep.
Yes. I think this might have been one that I got rid of a long time ago. But he's one we haven't had remade since. Never in the Hasbro days, at least, I think. So we haven't had this character in figure form for over a decade. The son of Mephisto, another dark character that they seem to be avoiding. So another opportunity here with Ghost Rider. The son of Mephisto, of course. Doesn't he like take his dad's power eventually anyway and just becomes as powerful or whatever? He takes over the. So Mephisto doesn't rule Hal, does he? But he rules a Hal-like dimension or something like that.
So in the Marvel universe, there's not one hell. There's all different hell dimensions and different lords of hell, but there tends to be like one ruler over them all. But there's like every bit of it has got their own like ruler of the domain. So like hell has got her Asgardian bit. Then like Strong Guy took over for a bit. Ghost Rider was the Lord of Hell for a bit. It's just like, it's like a free for all.
Okay. Well,
it's like a WWE title. Who's gonna get it this week? Let's play for the title of Lord of Hell.
Well, would Blackheart make a good choice for this retro card? He'd have to be probably. I'd say, could you get away with him being like a single card, or would he have to be a top of Kingpin sort of Rhino size, bigger, oversized card?
Because I think he'd need to be pretty big.
Yeah. So is this something you'd want in figure form? At least another version after the Toy Biz one, Cloud?
Yes, 100%. I might have the Toy Biz one in a box somewhere. He was one of the few that I kept because it's not a bad figure. He's a little spindly.
Yeah,
but
he can still hold
like
up.
The bendy tail. Oh yeah, no, he still looks cool. I think he was in one of the Marvel Capcom games also. So I mean,
he was in.
He's noticeable.
That is why I want him. He was in the first Marvel vs. Capcom and in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 as well. He was like one of the main villain characters you could play in it. He wants to take you for a ride, people.
Now it's stuck in my head.
I've put the poll up already so people can start voting on this. Would you like a Blackheart in Marvel Legends form? Now, as I said, we have had Toy Biz in the Build-A-Figure I think it was a Build-A-Figure. No, was it?
He wasn't a Build-A-Figure. He was in a Build-A-Figure wave.
Yeah.
I don't remember
he's
which
pretty
one.
chunky though, but like Cloud said, a little bit spindly now. But because of his character design as such, he still could work in a modern display. But an update, I'm sure Hasbro would kill it now. So maybe on the Ghost Rider card is an opportunity, maybe in the HasLab, I don't know. But he is a character that would definitely be worthy of a deluxe sort of range for Legends. So you already said, Rich, that you'd like him because he was on the Capcom game. But is this a Toy Biz figure that you currently have, or would you like a new update?
Because Toy Biz figure I did have, and then I sold it like a long time ago. Because I thought Hasbro would eventually get to it, and they haven't. Again, like I said, he's in the Marvel vs. Capcom game. That's like, I suppose, where the wider people know him from. But he's also in the brilliant Anna Senti John Romita run of Daredevil. I think that's where he first shows up. And it's just like, that's one of my favorite runs of Daredevil. And he's just like a really great character. He starts off as like a Daredevil villain, like that type of thing, when like Daredevil's losing his mind and he comes into it. Just a really great figure. A really great character, and that would make a good figure.
Yeah, for sure. The chat so far, 89%. So again, high numbers here for most of these characters. We're talking high numbers because they're all darker characters that don't really get the opportunity in a main Avengers Spider-Man line. Like, these are like darker street mystical characters. So yeah, I can understand why I myself would also love an opportunity to add him to the shelf. I don't have the Toy Biz one anymore. Like Cloud, I think mine was in a tub that I got rid of a long time ago. The only Toy Biz Legend that I currently still have is in this room, and he's right here. It's Beast, and I keep him just for sentimental purposes, but I got rid of the other ones a long time ago. But he's the only current way you can buy him, so he's overdue an update for sure. So I'm going to end the poll. 88% out of 50 votes. That's pretty high still. He beats quite a few of them there, but he's 88% is the same as Satana, which is pretty high. So he's in joint second now, to be fair. Joint second behind Mephisto.
He's just got such a cool look with like his tail, and they could give us the bendy wire tail. I like all like the porcupine hair that he has. He would stand out. Like, I get it. His color palette is pretty simple, but I still think he'd be an imposing character to have on the show.
He wasn't in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., was he? That was like the Hive or something like that. I can't remember. That was a
Hive. Yeah, Hive.
Yeah, I can't remember. Okay.
Blackout was in something else that I'm...
Okay.
Blackheart.
Okay, well, let's go next. Let's go next up. Back to another female character. Now... She is Lilith is how you pronounce the name, right? Lilith.
Yeah.
And she is the daughter of Dracula in the sense of Marvel.
No. This is the other Lilith. This is the mother of all demons, Lilith. Well, there's two Liliths in Marvel. There is the Dracula version, but this is the Ghost Rider version.
So I don't feel too silly then. That was all I knew.
No. There are two Liliths. This is, I think if they're gonna do a female figure, I think this would be the one that they do. Lilith is like the quintessential bad guy for Ghost Rider. Like Ghost Rider, all the Ghost Riders, like basically she's like this immortal demon who gives birth to all these other demons, and obviously Ghost Rider killing demons destroys her children, so she's got it in for all the Ghost Riders. She fights with like most of the mystical side of the Marvel universe. She's been depowered lately, but at one point she was like the top tier of all the demons in the Marvel, not the Marvel, in the Ghost Rider side of the universe. She'd be like kind of like Kingpin. So there was like a sub boss after her, but she was like the top level dealing with Ghost Rider. She's got a really interesting look with that like pointy head that goes into a thing, and then her hair going out. So I don't know how you would do that in action figure form. But again, like Rob and Craig were mentioning earlier about the Midnight Suns game as well. Like Lilith seems to be the main bad guy in that game as well. In like the promo trailer, she's got like an updated look, but still like this head and everything. So I think the time of Lilith is now. I mean, she would be great in a Ghost Rider series. She's a great villain. She's got an interesting look as well. So I would be for a Lilith.
Interesting. So I'm learning. So the only one I could think of was the Dracula version. But the characters aren't. Does she always wear purple, or does it change? I'm trying to picture her in my head.
She had like, there was like recently they did like an updated Lilith. It was like the mother of demons, so she looked like a teenager kind of. Like she had like an updated like look with like shorter hair and everything like that. But I mean, this is the look I think everyone looks at when they think of Lilith. That's what I think of. And I think in the Midnight Sun games, like I said, she's got like an interpretation of this look, and she seems to be the main bad guy behind the scenes anyway.
I'm just having a quick look to see if I can refresh my memory. But there you go. It is the purple sort of type. It's the big crown.
That's the one. See above, that's the like updated one. Go up a bit. Right at the top left. Earth 616. That one. That's what they updated her to look like, I think.
Okay, let's have a little look at there. There we go.
Womp womp.
So she got a haircut essentially.
She looks like Gozer.
She does look like Gozer. She does. Okay, so in regards to action figures, I already want the more classic looking Lilith. Thank you very much. And again, another opportunity. I do think there's going to be a female unlockable tier, just like we've got the other two. So let's see if it's going to be Lilith. Would you like Lilith, Cloud?
Oh yes, she's another must. There's not too many misses for me on the list, but there are definitely those who I place higher up. I always loved her design and her weird head with the Pope hat kind of built into her skull. Bit of a Pope hat, yeah. Yeah, she's real. And then again, like she is the mother of all of the villains, so like characters like Blackout come from her. So we wouldn't have a lot of characters if it wasn't for her. Recently I went back through the Rise of the Midnight Suns story arc, and I recommend that to anybody who kind of wants a bit of a crash course of what was going on in the 90s, because Dan Ketch is in it, Lilith and her brood are in this. It's a good read. They involve characters like Blade and Spider-Man. So check that out if you haven't, Rise of the Midnight Suns. So, and it's probably where they're going to pull a lot of information for the game that's coming out. I'm assuming they're going to take that as like primary source material.
I'm just looking at the chat as you speak, and again, another high voting. We need a few more votes for me to end the poll, but currently the live poll in the chat, 88% of the people would like a Lilith in Legends form, and I assume I would know if there was one, but we don't have her in figure form at all, right? Anywhere. Legends select.
No, never,
anything.
never. Figure.
Yeah, okay, so I'm always up for stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to end the poll. I think the last couple of votes said no, which brought her voting down a little bit, but she still ends with a high 86%, which is, again, very high for another female character, but not enough to beat out the 96%. That is Ghost Mephisto on a card. Or anywhere, to be fair. We just want Mephisto at this point. Okay, Lilith looks great. The chat seemed to agree. I had a hit in there from CJ. A few other people said, your boy's got toys, said she's got a weird head. Hey, yo, where's David Evan Smith? Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. This next one, you want to talk about weird head? That was a perfect segue for this guy. This guy, talking about a weird head, this guy literally has an eyeball for a head. Now, in the comics, from what I read about this guy, because when I thought this guy was coming in figure form, I went and did some digging, because we think that this gun has already been teased, and we'll explain why in a second, or Rich can explain why. But there was an orb character in Marvel Comics, but it was just a guy wearing a helmet. But the second one is an actual guy with the deformity of an eye for a head, and he was like raised by a circus, and people don't even know his name. He's just referred to as the Orb, and he has this special like laser plasma, I think it's plasma ray gun, which has a unique look, where if I zoom in you can see there. So yeah, he's sort of raised by a freak show circus. He's genuinely got an eye for a head. It's not just a fancy hat. He's a freaky looking character, and the perfect opportunity, a perfect choice for a Weirdos Wave or a retro card or a Hadblad unlock. Rich, first of all, would you like him? And you can explain to people why we think this guy is on the way.
So honestly, if this was a HasLab part of the HasLab figure, it's not one that's on my list, and it wouldn't make me want the HasLab. But I think it probably is, because obviously at San Diego Comic-Con, Dwight was doing those little question and answer sessions with people, and he did a little video, and he showed off a little hint at the end, which was a gun with a big round Sophia on the end. So it was unpainted, but it looked exactly like that. So I think most people thought with the other, so they also showed off on the booth. They had like Robbie Reyes' weapons, so like his spanner and his chains and stuff like that. So with that and with this, we definitely think this is somewhere to do. Like this figure is probably coming, whether it's part of the HasLab, whether it's going to be on a retro card wave, whether it can be somewhere else. Who knows? Because I think, like me and Dan originally did think when they showed off Razorback and they showed off the Human Fly as well, we thought we were getting like more kooky villains, like bring on the bad guys for next year. That's where we thought it was going to be, and we were wrong.
We're always wrong.
Who knows where this went? This could be showing up as the Hasbro PulseCon exclusive now in October. Who knows? But I think it's safe to say that the orb will be appearing somewhere.
Yeah, like Rich says, I think he's coming, and I won't be mad at it. I like wacky character designs. I like getting characters we've never had in our collection, especially ones that will stand out in a display. And who doesn't want a giant eyeball just randomly in a display? He's going to be very noticeable, very quirky. And would you want him for those reasons, Cloud?
Yeah, I do know a bit about him,
okay,
but based on the look alone, that's such a cool figure.
Can you add anything that I basically just give the footnotes, but can you add any tidbits of the orb from Ghost Rider lore or what you know?
He stole one of the Watcher's eyes at one point. And that gave him all sorts of like crazy powers. They had to go up against him and eventually get it back. But that was definitely a feat. He went to the moon and he stole one of the Watcher's
original
eyes.
Sin, I think Greg is saying that was in the original Sin storyline.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I like that. His backstory is really interesting. How he's not born with an eye for a head. He's born with a head shaped like an eye, which is just ludicrous.
Yeah.
And he could only make he couldn't talk. Like he could just make weird squishy noises for a little while before he actually learned how to speak. But it's a ridiculous character. He looks awesome. I could see him on the shelf. He'd stand out a mile away. Somebody would walk in and be like, what the hell is a giant? Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome character. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I love those crazy characters, especially ones we've never had in figure form. He will. I know I like saying it. Get your shots ready. He would pop on a shelf. He most certainly would. How could you ignore a giant eyeball just floating amongst your legends? But there's a body attached to it. He sort of looks like he's dressed like a stuntman. Just a few more votes in the chat and I'll end it. But so far, still a popular choice in the high 70s there. 77% of the people in the chat so far would like the orb. And on this Ghost Rider Retro card would definitely make him a little bit more desirable as well. Okay, a few more votes. Let that ride, people. Go to the chat right now and vote. We need one more so I can end it to make this nice and fair and even across the board. Everyone's had over 50 votes with the orb. I should have found the image to show you, but I assure you, Dwight Stahl has showed off a weapon, an unpainted prototype weapon that looks exactly like the orb's. I think it's a plasma ray. I think that's what they call it. And it's the same at the same event. They also showed off unpainted prototypes of something we assume that's going to be in the HasLab. So it could all be connected. Because maybe he was told he was allowed to show them. You just don't know. Okay, so I'm ending it. And he ended in the high 70s. 78% of the people out there would like the orb in figure form. Yeah, a quirky, weird-looking bad guy. I don't blame you if you don't want him, but I'm a sucker for those weirdos. Next up, you've mentioned him a few times already, Cloud. It is Death's Watch. So there's genuinely not much about this guy. He's just like a villain, isn't he? But like, is he? I don't know. Like, I don't know his origin.
He kind of runs a crime syndicate. Okay. And he's not just like a villain. And I think he's a supernatural character. He might be half demon.
But when I say we don't know much about, I mean I don't know his I don't know his real name. I don't know if he's part of from a different planet or anything. He's just a villain. It's just like a name, not a nameless, but like a faceless bad guy who's just always a presence.
He has an alias that escapes me at the moment, but he does have a name that he goes by in his crime syndicate. But that's what I liked about him when I was reading is he would just show up and kick someone's ass, and like you knew nothing about this character other than like the way he looked. Yeah. I loved that about him. But he's another one that I think if we're going to start getting into, particularly the 90s era with like Dan Ketch and characters like Vengeance and stuff, he's another one that showed his face often, so he would go hand in hand with them really well.
Yeah, and it seems simple enough in figure form to do with the black and red. Would be quite striking. Rich, is this someone you'd like to add to the collection? Death's Watch?
So I remember him from the 90s, but like I said to Cloud that when we get to this one, I've got no clue really. He's like a demon alien kind of guy. I mean, like he showed up. Wasn't he part of like the Hood's gang in?
He worked with the Hood, yeah.
Yeah, so he was like a crime boss when he was like a demon, but he also like poses like a crime boss, like as a crime lord type of thing. But yeah, I remember this look, and I remember it being on like the Marvel Universe cards. That's about the only place I've ever seen it. And I think on the back, is he like an alien? He's got like a green head with like boils on it or something on the back.
He's Google. You could Google it, yeah. I had to look up his name. Stephen Lords is what he went by.
Stephen Lords.
Yeah, but this is also... I know that he fought against Wolverine as well, so that's...
Yeah. There's the card. Lines and stuff. That card on there? 100 Death Watch. That's the Marvel Universe card, I think.
Yeah,
the one you're on.
I have those cards.
There you go. He's got a head, green head with like all these...
He looks kind of like rotting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're purposely not much about him. They're trying to keep him mysterious on purpose. Because I recognise the name, I recognise the character design, but I couldn't tell you much about him. Apart from that, yeah, I think he's a bad guy. But he does quite toyetic, like samurai sort of ish vibes to him. I can see that there.
Two heads, one with the mask, one without. Too.
Yeah, this one he's got long hair. The other one didn't seem like he had that.
I think he's got like three heads because he's got he's got like his alien head, and then he's got like when he's like disguised as a human head as well. So I think he's get like 3 out of that. CJ Phoenix in the chat says it looks like an acolyte suit, and it does. So if that's a way to get the acolytes, I'll take him.
Yeah, there he is fighting Ghost Rider.
1991. That series is from 91. He's been around for a while. That character.
Yeah, there's him fighting Ghost Rider for anyone who questioned. And there he's on a Ghost Rider cover as well. Again, the face looks a little bit different. It's like he hasn't got his mask on. There you go. There's his ponytail. That's Danny Ketch as well, I assume.
Yes,
so
that's Ketch.
Towel because of the bike, but
the bike.
Yeah.
It's also just the big spikes on his forearm that usually is the giveaway.
But okay, we're trying to show the people some because so far not many votes on this one. I think people may be like us and just be a little bit unfamiliar with the character. But 61% from the 36 so far have said yes, please. But 38% have said no, and I genuinely just think when people say no, it's because they're not familiar with the character themselves and they have no attachment to it, and I can understand. So I let that ride for a second, people. Anything to add? Anything more to add on Death's Watch here?
Oh, I love his mask. That's just so cool. I wish I brought they're across the room. I wish I brought my cards over so I could start pulling it up. But he's in like most of the Marvel Universe series in the early 90s had a spotlight on him. So you think we would know so much more about him, but I think that's what's cool is his idea is this shadowy character who wants to be the next Kingpin. But he's got all the supernatural ties, which makes him work with Ghost Rider really well as well.
Jay's Tools Collection in the UK says, can I change my vote? It would be a yes now. See, we've convinced him otherwise. Jamie Gitchard also says it can't be a coincidence that he looks like a burnt victim, like Kane wears a mask in WWE. I can see that. Definitely has the Kane vibes. There he is, the big red machine. I have him in the display already. No. Sorry, I'm just waiting.
You're fine. We're waiting for the poll. He also he killed Barbara Ketch, or had her killed.
Oh dear.
Danny's sister.
Yeah, not good.
So not somebody Ketch is a fan of. So like I said, he's an important character whether you know him or not. Building out like that 90s era Ghost Rider display, I think he's somebody that we would have to have on the shelf.
We've confused a few people.
Yeah, if you're in comic books, your name's Barbara as well. You should probably just stay home because like good things never seem to happen to Barbaras in comic books. So.
One more vote, people. One more vote, and let's move on from Death's Watch. I want to try and keep this even. Make sure everyone had over 50 votes here. He doesn't look like he's going to win by any means, but I want to try and keep this even as possible. 59% so far from the poll. But again, we seem to. I think a few people sort of straight away just click no, and then as we discuss the character, they're like, yeah, he is pretty cool. He ends though with 50 votes and with 57% of the vote as well. So I'll add that to my list. And then we got one more bad guy who was on the old retro card for Ghost Rider. So he seems to be a heavy candidate for a redo on a new retro card line. And it is, again, I'm going to say this wrong, Zarathos. Toast. I don't know why I say toast, but Zarathos. I'll throw it to you, Cloud. I can't speak.
So this is the spirit of vengeance that was bonded with Johnny Blaze. So the what was possessing him is this demon right here. So if you want to talk about like classic Ghost Rider characters, he is definitely top, and I think that's why he got a character in the original Toy Biz wave, is because of how important he came. Eventually they separated. There was this whole issue where people were hunting down Danny Ketch because they thought he was possessed by Zarathos. It turned out he wasn't, which is another ridiculous story with the medallion and everything. But he became quite a big character in a lot of Danny's adventures. They were working against him, but I think he goes hand in hand with Johnny Blaze. You gotta have to have the two of them.
Doesn't everyone who has the Ghost Rider powers take a little bit of his power as well? Like even when they are not technically the Ghost Rider, like I swear...
it's where a lot of their powers come from.
Yeah.
But like I said, Danny Ketch, they thought he was possessed by this guy, and he wasn't. But when Johnny Blaze was the Ghost Rider, it was the two of them kind of merged together. It was Mephisto took this guy and trapped him essentially in Johnny Blaze's body.
Yeah, he was on the old retro card, like Cloud says, worthy of having a re-release and the most perfect villain for this retro card. Shout out Bullseye84 as well. And I can see Zach Cool1 in the chat says we need Mephisto. We've talked about Mephisto. So far, he is in the lead with 96% of the vote. So we may go back to him, revealing him as the most wanted character. But I think this guy's got to be up there as well. So far, 37% of the vote with 89%. So let's get some more people voting on this guy in the chat right now. Let's try and get it to 50 as we throw it over to Rich. Rich, do you need him for the shelf?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Like, Zarathos means nothing for me. Vengeance was on this list, but more people picked Zarathos, so that's why Zarathos ended up on this list.
I get them too confused, though. I always think Vengeance is the one that gave him his powers, but Vengeance, because he became a Ghost Rider as well, didn't he, Vengeance?
Yeah, but Vengeance is like bigger and bulkier, where they're like, Zarathos is like the top dog of all Ghost Riders. So, I mean, Capliv's asked in the chat earlier about Damnation. Did Lilith showed up in that? I don't think Lilith showed up in that, but what I remember from Damnation is that Zarathos takes the throne of hell at the end of that from Johnny Blaze. Sorry for boring you, Dan.
No, sorry. It's not you. It's not you. I need more drink. That's what it is. I'm pulling a Brandon, so didn't mean to either.
But yeah, I think that's like Zarathos is like a key player in the Ghost Rider universe, and he's very similar to Ghost Rider, like standing next to a Ghost Rider. I mean, he looks evil in his purple, like someone said he looks a bit like Shredder from the Turtles, but he's got that like the white.
Oh, I guess with the purple and the cape a little bit.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I'm looking over here, people, I'm not looking at you. I'm like looking at the screen because that's how I control the screen. So when I look this way, I'm not ignoring people. I'm looking at the screen that I'm controlling. So I do apologise. So I'm not bored. I'm engaged, looking at the screen. Okay. Looking at the chat, looking at the poll. A few more votes on the poll then, people. And I need to learn how to pronounce his name. Zarathos. See, my brain keeps saying toast. It's not. It's Thos. It's Thos.
I think it's flexible.
Okay, cool.
But I think having him and Mephisto on a display together would be really nice.
Just loads of demons. Just loads of demon character with
all of the demons.
Yeah.
I was a very dark and brooding child, so I liked all of the evil-looking characters. Yeah, I don't know. I need these guys.
You could get Mephisto, and then his son Blackheart, and Lilith, and like the son of Satan, and Satana, and just start building up this sort of dark, like Howl-like display. We just don't get many of them in figure form unless they've sort of hit the mainstream. So this is a nice little way to try and get some of these characters. Right, I'm ending the poll. 50 votes. It ended with a high 86% of the votes, which is as expected for the character that he is responsible for Ghost Riders. And talking about Ghost Riders, let's end with a couple of alternative versions of Ghost Rider that some people may want in figure form. Starting off with Ghost Rider 2099. Now, I don't know anything about this guy, not read any story with him in. But is that a flame? No, a chainsaw for a hand. That's what it seems to be. He seems like a very Terminator-style Ghost Rider, like with the sort of metallic sort of look to him, and then he's got the elongated hands there in this picture. But Ghost Rider 99. Who knows about this guy that can tell the people something? Because I don't know anything. Did you do any research when you looked at this guy, Rich, or just grab a picture?
I know nothing about it. I think he's a Chris Bachalo designer. I like Chris Bachalo, but I've never read Ghost Rider 2099. Know nothing about him whatsoever, apart from he's got a chainsaw for a hand. So look, that's cool.
We're creating a list of toyetic character designs that would make cool action figures. And even though we don't know any actual comic tidbits of Ghost Rider 2099, you just cannot deny that it's not toyetic and at least a little variant on the regular Ghost Rider design. What do you think, Cloud?
I hated this Ghost Rider so much. He looks cool. He would make an excellent action figure. I would probably get him anyway, but he's not even a person. It was this hacker who gets killed, and his consciousness is uploaded to the net, and they download him into this robot body. And because he looks like the Ghost Rider, they call him Ghost Rider. But it has nothing to do with like the Spirits of Vengeance or anything like that. Okay. I wish I could remember the guy's name. But it's a robot body with somebody's consciousness uploaded to it. It looks cool, but I was not a fan.
Well, I've put the poll up in the chat right now. and the chat can decide for us. Is the toyetic design all the same? 27 votes so far, so no one's that excited about this guy, it seems. Would you like Ghost Rider 2099 on the Ghost Rider Marvel Legends retro card? Now, just think they could do a whole retro carded line of just characters who have portrayed Ghost Rider in the comics, and technically this would be one of them, where you could reuse some parts, but just give them different arms, I guess. Give them a bit of deco. A few misses in the chat, I can see. CJ's head's exploded. Maybe he was unaware of this guy.
The only problem with this is it would make me want more of the 2099 characters, like Hulk and Punisher. I would want a 2099 display. So as cool as this is, I'd be okay if they didn't make him, because I would have to buy him and then I would have to start a whole new line. So
they have just in the Marvel Comics like brought back the 2099 line. So there was Spider-Man Exodus event that's just going on. And in the X-Men titles, they brought Brimstone Love, one of the future X-Men villains. Yeah, they brought him back into the main box. And I don't. If this is a spoiler, if you're not reading Marauders, then turn off for 2 seconds. But they've just brought Cerebra 2099 back into the X-Men books as well. So I think they are starting to push the 2099 universe again, because it is a good one. And obviously, you've got Spider-Man 2099 showing up in the Edge of Spider-Verse movie next year as well. Beyond Spider-Verse, even Beyond the Spider-Verse, whatever it's called, something Spider-Verse.
People in the chat now are talking about 2099. Caleb said yes to more 2099. Caleb and CJ both went straight to Doom 2099.
Yeah.
50 votes. I'm ending it. 66% of the vote on that one for 2099 Ghost Rider. Now we're about to move on to our last one, so I'm just going to take that down. But so far, could this guy? So before we go to this last one, people, do you know what it is, Cloud? Do you have a
yeah?
Okay, cool. So, do you think it's going to beat Mephisto at 96% of the vote?
So there's been a lot of suggestions in the chat. Some people might have even said this about all these alternate versions of Ghost Rider. Like Cat Bliv said, the 1 million BC Ghost Rider has been brought up. Tana's brought up the Spirit of Vengeance and Ghost Spider as well, the Peter Parker with the Ghost Rider. Spirit of Vengeance again. I'm sure if Brandon was here, he'd be wanting the Ghost Panther from the Infinite Warp storyline. There's a lot of different Ghost Riders out there, but I think there's one that definitely won the popular vote out there that a lot of people wanted. And again, it's one that I think is much needed. I don't know how much justice Hasbro will be able to wear, because it is an iconic look for an alternate Ghost Rider.
Cloud, just with a simple yes or no, is he going to beat Mephisto?
I hope not.
Okay, this is the last one. I would have, if this was me making the list, I would have done a flaming hippo head on the retro card for the last one. But it's not that. It's something even worse, to be honest. It is, of course, Ghost Rider, but the movie version Ghost Rider. Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. Movie Ghost Rider. Is that even a scene of Nicolas Cage from Ghost Rider?
Yeah, that is when he's with his nose. That's that's the iconic scene. That's what he's got to be double jointed with articulation just to do that. Yeah.
Big nose head. Okay, so movie Ghost Rider is our last pick for today. Yes, there was lots of others we could have gone from, but we always like ending on something a little bit funnier. And I think people are going to vote yes on this one. So you have the opportunity now to let the people know, do you want a Nicolas Cage version of Ghost Rider in action figure form on this retro card? 40% straight away, 40 votes, straight away, straight to 70%. So people are excited about this one. We get boom from Phil Jones. Caleb is like, yes, yes, yes. Your boy's got toys. Said, I forgot about Ghost Rider Spider. Oh, which one's that? Is it Ghost Hippo? Says J Toys Collection UK. I should have done. A flaming hippo head would have been pretty cool, not going to lie. To Catch a Legend says hit. Fortimus Maximus says, I really like this design. Don't need the Nick Cage head, though. Someone did mention earlier about every Ghost Rider should come with their alternative human sort of head for a display option, which I agree with. That's always good, because we have just got a flaming Johnny Ketch head, but not Johnny Ketch, a flaming Johnny Blaze head, and we haven't got a Danny Ketch head. But it's again nice to have options. Mini Plastic always says yes, I'll take it. So I'll throw it to these guys. Cloud, first of all, have you seen the movie? Do you like the movie? And then finally, do you want it on figure form?
So I saw the first film in the theater. I went and paid money to go see that movie. The second one I waited for. I actually just watched them the other day again. One night, one the next night. And the second movie makes me so angry. It's so terrible. They ruined Blackout. But yes, I would 100% buy this figure, and it needs a Nicolas Cage head. It would just it's so, like, the movies are bad. You watch them for I watch them for the visuals. Like, the bike is really cool. A lot of the scenes that they film him in, a lot of the action scenes, driving up the skyscrapers. You cannot watch it for the story. You just kind of have to watch it for Ghost Rider. But because this was like the first film representation of him, I would absolutely put this on the shelf or in the pack on the wall and never think about it again.
Look, I would like these type of things if we were guaranteed to get like a Wesley Snipes Blade as well, and like just have a random shelf of characters, actors that have portrayed these Marvel characters. But where would he go in the display otherwise? Maybe in the What If multiverse display. At this point, Eddie in the chat says, I just rewatched this movie last week, and boy, was it bad. What do you think, Rich? Is Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider, something you want on the shelf? And what do you think of the movie?
100%. The most disappointing thing of the Multiverse of Madness is that Nicolas Cage wasn't part of the Illuminati. Like, that would have been the ideal way to like slip him in there. Like he could have been like just standing there off to the side with his like transforming and doing his scream as well. Like Cloud, I also saw the first Ghost Rider in the cinema as well. And like, it was just one of those popcorn movies, wasn't it? It was
got a second. It did well enough to get a second.
Yeah, and like Cloud, the second one is it's not a good movie.
That's why it didn't get a third. Yeah, that's why they didn't get a trilogy.
But wasn't there like a massive gap as well between the first and the second one? Was it like a wild, or was it?
It was a number of years between the two.
But yeah, I like the first movie. It's just like a stupid, trashy popcorn movie, like I said. Yeah. I would love a Nicolas Cage head on a Ghost Rider. I would buy that figure.
They were 2007 was Ghost Rider, and 2011 was Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh yeah,
so it
was a few years apart. Yeah.
Usually with films like that, when they do well, they just try and get the other one done ASAP. So it is. But I know Nicolas Cage, the actual guy, is a big like Marvel fan anyway. Like he's known for like buying up Marvel comics at auctions and stuff like that. So
yeah,
he probably campaigned for this. Probably got finance for the second one himself if they weren't going to do it. He's probably still trying to get the third one made right now.
Probably. You can tell he had fun with it. You can tell he had a lot of fun, especially like if he went a little off the rails in the second one. I don't like how the skull was like charred in the second movie. I also don't like how Ghost Rider never really talks. Like, he can speak, he can enunciate, and he can have complete thoughts come out, and they just kind of make him this mindless demon just based on the way he looks. And that's something that if they ever go into another Ghost Rider series, they have to give him his personality. He has to be able to speak, and you have to care about the demon as much as you care about like the human part as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. But this is the first ever live action adaptation of Ghost Rider with these two movies. And then, of course, we've had Robbie Reyes in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Someone said as well in the chat, I think it was Jay, says Ghost Rider Coulson. No, it was Greg Finstad. Greg Finstad said Ghost Rider Phil Coulson. And I think there is a scene where Phil Coulson gets the Ghost Rider
and Mac,
power.
Yeah.
Mac too, Mackenzie. They both did.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But we've never had Danny Ketch in live action, right? And that's a lot of people's want. So maybe when the MCU do Ghost Rider, they may go straight to Danny Ketch. Maybe.
The only, I guess, nod we had to that was when Robbie Reyes was telling the story about what happened, and the rider comes up on the bike, and they don't show him. But like that's kind of like the hint is like who that might have been. Was that Danny Ketch, or were they doing Johnny Blaze? But it's kind of like they acknowledge that he existed in the same universe, which was nice.
Captain Liv says, "Look into my eyes." Yes, it's the Ghost Rider. So we're going to see a lot of Ghost Rider for this month. This month may be the month for Ghost Rider, especially if the HasLab is announced. As I said, Dan Yoon on Twitter, if I try and find him real quick, So there's Ryan Ting posting pictures of them obviously filming something Ghost Rider related in the Hasbro studio. And if we jump to Dan Yoon, there he is. He did say save your dough for September. There it is with the Mr. Dough Man. He says we're going to be quiet until the middle of September.
It's only like 2 weeks though, isn't it?
That dough better be saved for September though, I'm telling you. So again, we have middle of September, we're getting something which is going to be expensive. It's going to be this HasLab announcement. And then at the end of September, we have Hasbro PulseCon on the very last day of September and the first day of October. I think it's a Friday and Saturday, if I remember correctly. So yeah, save that dough. And if you're a Ghost Rider fan, maybe someone on this list will be actually in there. And let's have a quick recap at this. But first, Northern Nomad with a super chat. Thank you very much.
Northern Nomad donated $5. Ghost Rider needs to be remade with Norman Reedus as Danny Ketch.
Norman Reedus, from Walking Dead. Yeah, they have been campaigning for him to be Ghost Rider. So yeah, so thank you very much, Northern Nomad, for the super chat. He said Ghost Rider needs to be remade with Norman Reedus as Danny Ketch, who plays Daryl in The Walking Dead, if you were curious. But he is always on a bike, so he's got that bit down already. So all right, let's go back to the voting real quick. So let's have a look at this. So this guy, way over 50 votes, still only gets 71% though. So that means he is not the winner. He is far from it, because the winner of today's poll, with 96% of the vote, we have to go all the way back to this guy. Mephisto is our most wanted character on today's list out of the 15 Ghost Rider related characters that we would like in figure form. Whether it's on a retro card or not, we do not care at this point, but we need a Mephisto. The only person that voted no was Super Turk 5000 Tanner, I think. I think statistically that is proof. Tanner was the 4% that said no.
Can you see Mephisto's action feature, by the way?
Do I need to zoom in?
Oh, do you see that? Yeah, that's good.
Go up a bit. Here you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Don't cry, Tanner. I didn't see that.
Brilliant.
Genius. Yeah, shout out to Super Turk 5000. There you go.
We still love you, Tanner.
Wait, did you have something special written on all of them?
No, just that.
Okay, cool. In second place was joint second place with the silver medal. Was Rich's favourite joint. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Blade. So Blade was second with 94%, and then after that was a joint third place with Blackheart and saying Tanner. There she is. So there you go. So they take the silver medal. But again, if that was a wave right now, if that was the wave, right? So the wave was Ghost Rider, and then we had Mephisto, Blade, Satana, Blackheart, and then Danny Ketch.
That'd be a decent wave.
That's a solid wave, isn't it? That is a solid wave. So there you go. Let us know your favourites before we get out of here in the chat. If there's any more Ghost Rider recommendations, then get those super chats in before we end the stream.
We've got a cameo video though as well.
Yeah, no, I'm going to play that. I was literally getting that set up while we talk. We've not tried it live, so let's hope it works. Super Turk 5000 says, I voted from a few accounts. Got to get those numbers up. Yeah, he was the 4%. Okay, so let us know your favourite out of all these. I'll quickly skim through them so you can see once again. So Danny Ketch,
Alejandra.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes, Caretaker, Son of Satan, who I learnt is the same character as Hellstrom, Satana, Blade, Mephisto, Blackheart, Lilith, The Orb, Deathwatch, Zaratos, Ghost Rider 99, and Ghost Rider from the movies, aka Nicolas Cage.
You don't have to play the video. Brandon's here.
Oh, Brandon's here. Let's get him in. Let's get him in. Has he landed? Okay, let's see. Let's get him in. I haven't done 4 on here for a while, but I'll make it happen. 1 second. One second. It's been a while. Wait there. Yes, it works. Okay. Brandon, hello.
Yo, can we hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey.
Where are you?
We've landed in London, but we haven't yet been allowed to leave the plane.
So you're on the plane right now?
Yeah, look. Where's my foot? There you go.
Hello, everyone on the plane. Can we have a cheer?
Hey!
No, I'm joking. Where have you been? Do you mind telling the people where you're doing? So happy birthday, by the way, Brandon. Publicly, we did.
Happy birthday.
We did sing
Thank
happy
you.
birthday to you earlier. So
I'll
where did you
have to
go?
catch that on the replay.
Where did you go?
We went to Paris. So if you'll remember our ticket. Wait, am I here?
Yeah, you said.
Yep.
So say it again.
Yeah.
You went to Paris. We went to Paris.
Yes. Yeah, we went to Paris for a day. If you guys all remember Articulated Adventures.
Hey, it's Archie.
And then-
Archie's
Archie is
the man behind the camera, the magic man.
Yes, the man behind the camera himself. We got an 8 a.m. flight this morning, and then a 10 p.m. flight. 8 a.m. this morning? Yeah, 8 a.m. this morning, and then 10 p.m. flight home. So we had a good time.
A day in Paris. That's a great way to spend your birthday.
A day in Paris. Yeah, it's just the only thing is we had pancakes for breakfast, crepes for lunch, and then we planned to have a big dinner. But we were running out of time, so we thought, sod it, we'll just get dinner when we get to the airport. Got to the airport, and they had the only thing they had was like a cafe with sandwiches. So we're starving. So we can't wait to get off the plane and get some food.
Look,
But it's been great. We had a great time. The weather was gorgeous.
You can
oh
eat.
my goodness.
You can
Paris
eat
was
now
gorgeous.
when you're home. So I reckon you sacrifice the time you spent eating dinner, doing something else. So fair play. You can feast when you get in. Did you buy any toys while you're there? You did have a look in a few shops. You were sending us pictures.
I did, yeah. I got a clone trooper that I spent a little bit too much on, I think.
It's your birthday.
But
treat yourself.
Exactly. And it's not in the UK yet, so it was well worth getting. For those in the chat that are probably saying which one, because I know we have so many Star Wars fans in the chat.
There are. There's a few.
It's Clone Commando Fixer.
That's my favourite one. My favourite one.
He's the green one, right?
Yeah. He actually is.
Yeah,
That's
see?
the hilarious thing. He's white and green.
I
How
know
did
that.
you know that? Oh, you knew that.
You
knew
sent a
that from
picture.
the picture. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I did send.
I'm
a
just
picture.
saying I'm paying attention.
And then
That's all.
And then I was having a meltdown as to whether I should get it or not. But I did.
It's your birthday.
And
Good,
shout
fine.
out to Phil Jones, Cool Toys UK, because he gave me some amazing recommendations of where to go to. So it was great fun. We had a good time. How was the stream?
The stream was fine. I think the air host behind you wants to be on the stream. He wants to be on the channel. He's a big action figure collector.
He's like, get off! I want to clean. Come on.
You're fine. Wait, was the air host behind me saying something?
No. He was just. I could just see him in the background. That was all. The stream was fun. We were talking Ghost Rider. Like in regards to Ghost Rider, we know that's probably why you went to Paris to get away from the Ghost Rider talk. But is there any Ghost Rider related characters you would like on the retro card? The person who won today out of one of the most popular was Mephisto with 96%.
I would go Mephisto.
Yeah,
Mephisto I would go for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would say Mephisto. Oh, it's raining.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, welcome back to England. Yeah.
Oh no. We had gorgeous weather all day. It was sunny. It was warm. We got these bikes, and we were just riding. Oh wait, hold on. Let me put that up in the camera. We were just riding these bikes around all day. It was great. We had a lovely time.
Good.
But yeah, I would say Mephisto. Who else?
Blade was quite popular, like a new Blade.
Oh, I gotta put my phone away.
Okay.
Blade was popular. I would get Blade. Some guy is having a bit of a fit over there. So before he has a heart attack, I may go. Oh no, wait, he's gone. Oh no, he's gone.
Okay.
Fine.
Oh, okay. Good.
He's gone. But yeah, I would say Blade. I mean, there's loads. My Marvel mind has gone blank for a second, but
It's fine. It's your birthday. You're allowed. A few people in the chat saying hello to you, saying happy birthday. Bring Toys to Work saying happy birthday. Rob Pollock, happy birthday. Phil Jones is clapping his hands. You're welcome.
Shout out to Phil.
Yeah, we got some birthday cakes from Greg Finstad. Happy birthday from Caleb. There's a few more up top as well. Fortress Maximus, Mini Plastic Multiverse. They're all saying let him in, but he's in. He's here. He's talking.
Cool. Okay. Well, rather than put you guys through another journey of passport control like last time, I will. I'll
keep my mouth shut this time. I won't shout anything weird.
Yeah, and get me in trouble again.
Sorry, no one knows what I hid in his bag.
Oh God.
Okay. Anyway, on that note,
Could have been anything. Could have been a treasure.
I'm gonna get my fire motorcycle and ride my way out of here.
All right. Goodbye. Be safe.
Yeah.
See you next week.
You
Peace and love,
better.
guys. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one. Bye.
Bye-bye. Cool, right. There he goes. Let's jump back. Let me press some buttons, get you back in here. All right, there we go. And we're back. There you go. Brandon makes it. I don't have to play the video after all. The cameo, he survives for the final one. Greg says Dan is evil. I'm not. I sent. It was a present in his bag. What were you thinking of? A few Brandon emojis in there as well. I prefer the frog emoji for Brandon. That's what I prefer. Okay, so I think people already know, but let's just end the stream with your top three. Okay, top three, your personal top three, not what the chat decided. So, Rich, to you first.
Satana, Demon Hellstrom, and Cavalier Fantôme, the French version of Ghost Rider in honor of Brandon.
Ah, that was nice. That was nice. He comes with a flaming baguette.
Yeah, from Pret a Manger.
I did German at school, and I still can't even speak any of that. Cloud, what about you? Top three?
Danny Ketch, Lilith, and Blade.
Good picks. I would buy all of them. I'm a sucker. But they're all new characters that we haven't had, and the ones that we have had, we need better versions of anyway. And if they've got pins on it, I'll be making angry YouTube videos about it. Oh, damn you, pins. No, I won't really. I'll be fine. Okay, just jump into the chat. Thank you to everyone joining us today, talking some toys. I am going to end the stream and post a link of the Turtles and Tea me and Tanner did on Tuesday. We actually did a Turtles and Tea on Tuesday. Can you believe it? So let me put that post in there so it's there for the replay crew. I forget we've got the no pins emoji. We're like the only people with the no pins emoji. What was weird is that
it's all your fault. This all comes from you. Like you and Brandon with your no pins. Look, it's spread.
I was at bowling on Monday, knocking down pins, trying to send messages to the Hasbro team to not give us pins, but it just obviously didn't work. To be fair, I'm not very good at bowling. That's probably why it didn't work. Right, Turtles and Tea. There we go. Post in the link. Go and watch the replay of Turtles and Tea. It's basically a live show just like this, but me, Tanner, and special guest Jay's Toys Collection UK are talking Turtles and Tea. I don't know what episode it is, but it's one of the episodes. So
7?
Yeah, I think so. It was 7. I think you're right. Thank you for watching, Rich. I appreciate that.
You're
a
welcome.
big Turtle fan. Big Turtle fan.
I tuned in for Jay because I thought he was taking over the show. I thought it was going to be Jay and Tanner from now on, but you were still there.
I can just be in the host in the background if you want. Okay, so the Turtles and Teas link there. Let me just play the intro for Turtles and Tea so you know the score. Again, showing some love to the Super. So Tanner and Jay are actually meeting up tomorrow as well, which is pretty cool. They're off to see the wrestlers.
Saturday.
Yes, but I think they're meeting up tomorrow night. I think he may be going to stay, maybe. I think Chicaman Kiara is going to make him dinner or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Run him a bath or something. I don't know what she's doing.
Ooh.
Spicy.
For Jay and Tanner together to play with their ducks. Shout out Tanner the Super Turtle. As I said, Turtles and Tea. Here's the intro. All the streams on the show have original intros, original graphics. They all try and have their own little flavour. And Turtles and Tea, we talk about all the latest news in Super 7 and NECA. And hopefully we'll be doing a Joe's and Juice, which is the same thing, but talking G.I. Joe's and Action Force now that we know that vehicles are on their way. But until that happens, Turtles and Tea, the link is now the pinned comment in the description. So if you are watching on the replay, then there's no reason not to find that link because it is the pinned one at the top. Okay, we appreciate that. And again, I want to send another shout out as well to let me get it up. Jacob's Toys. So the video that I played at the start of the stream is on Jacob's channel right now. So that's Jacob. He's launching the Legends Collector app. I do encourage you to go and get it. It's only a couple of dollars, a couple of pounds, and if you're a Marvel Legends collector, I do think you will find some great use out of this. Whether you're creating Wishlist of the characters you still need to get, or just want a really good archive of Marvel Legends, like. Even if you're not creating a wish list, there's an archive by year, by Build-A-Figure Wave, by Summer Program, by Retro Wave. It's a great archive for Marvel Legends and a great way to sort of keep note of your collection as well. It tells you how many figures are in your collection if you start ticking the ones you've got. I was testing out the beta for him, but he's made a few tweaks even since then. And as I said, he's a UK guy showing some love to the Legend brand. So there you go. So go and check out Jacob's Toys UK. He's also just done a collection video as well that you can go and check out. So go and check them out. But go and get the app. It's on App Store and it's on the Android Play Store as well. So is that how you got yours, Cloud? You Apple or Android?
Android.
What do you think of it? Quick customer review from Cloud.
I spent a little bit of time with it, but it was pretty easy to start tracking things down. I feel like my collection is so big though that the best is going to be to look on the shelves and tick off characters that way. It's going to be an undertaking, but once you have that all squared away, it's a great place to mind your collection. Any kind of wish listing is nice because I always go out and forget who I'm looking for. So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I don't see anybody. And then I come home and I'm like, shit, they had that person. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's how I'll be using mine as well. More for a wish list. Because I'm like you. It will take me a good long time to go and start ticking every figure I want. But if I wanted to do it, I have an option to do that. But I it's good for me to try and find out the gaps because, as I said, I haven't got everything. There's a lot of Legends I'm missing, and some I'm hoping Legends redo, but some I want to go backtrack and get. So, but shout out Jacob Toys all the same. There is a link in the description to his channel. I'm sure he'll be promoting this for a good old while now, anyway. But until next time, next Thursday, are you with us here next Thursday, Rich? I can't remember if Brandon's back or not. Or are you available next Thursday?
I am available every Thursday now, going forward. But yeah,
no, you're in. You're in. If you're here every Thursday, you're in. Yeah, good. I was just making sure. I always feel like I'm forcing Rich on these shows. By the way, people, I want to make sure Rich actually wants to be here before I drag him on. You can't see. You can't see, but if you scroll the camera down, there is like a ball and chain attached to his ankle that locks during these times on a Thursday. But no, again, massive thank you to Rich. All of the graphics today were done by Rich. And again, I might try the flaming hairstyle. It may be a look that works for me. I love the amount of variants of my logo I have. I could have a whole wardrobe of different T-shirts at this point. I'm just still laughing at that bloody face. Ridiculous. But thank you, Rich, once again, as always, the super producer. Where can the people find you online?
You can find me at Displayed Once on Instagram, or like watching everyone commenting on Twitter and laughing with my popcorn. Keep going, everyone. Find something else to moan about next week.
Rich loves it. Rich loves when people start moaning online. Cloud, thank you for being a guest today, and thank you for bringing your Ghost Rider knowledge, because as you could see, I wasn't very much help. I just like toys. That's all I like. But we appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, and I'm sure people recognise you from Legends of the Liquor and whatnot. But if they don't and they want to follow you, tell the people where they can find you online.
Well, first, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. I took the day off. But you can follow me on Instagram at cloud_network, and we'll skip Twitter because the content is kind of shifted, and I apologize for any of my followers who have seen me without my trousers. So
maybe they're into that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe they're into that.
Boxwell, there you go.
There you go, yeah. The link for the Instagram is in the description. Please do go and follow Cloud. But I'm sure we will see his face again on this channel on the next Legends and Liquor. But that's not this weekend. That's next weekend. This weekend, I am going to try and get a Joe's and Juice in with Mark and Tom. Thank you to everyone who's been super chatting and all the channel memberships and everything that I've gone through. We appreciate that. And again, let me just put up the last logo before we get out of here. There we go. Go and check out all the streams on the channel. Reviews may be a little bit quiet for the next couple of weeks in the UK. I'm not going to lie. I think it's the US turn to get all the Legends first, all right? So I'll be like you, living vicariously through my friends across the sea, whether you're on the American side or the other side, because I'm not getting any of these new Disney Plus figures for a while, am I, Rich?
No, but you got that Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man.
No, I still have him. Yes, no, I will.
Got it? Yeah,
I will. Yeah, I will review him. But again, in regards to newness, we'll be waiting a little bit, I think. But again, it's fine. I understand. But
fingers crossed for Bagman next week. Come on.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good for sure. It's Dan Who Goku. Oh, what? Because I was like Super Saiyan with the flaming hair. Okay, I see what you did there. See what you did there. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next week. As always, follow me everywhere on all the channels, all of that good stuff. All the links are in the description. If you're watching on a replay, let me know in the replay crew. Tell me you're a part of the replay. I'm always curious who watches until the very end of these things. If you did watch until the very end of this stream, what word shall we tell them to write in the comments, Rich? Give me a random word.
Bibliotech.
If you watched until the very end of this stream on the replay, write bibliotech in the comments, okay? And you get bonus points. We appreciate you. Let's give them a quick wave. Let's get out of here.
Au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
There you go. I know that one. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Just
there you go. Any final words, Cloud?
Caterpillar.
Caterpillar. Nice. If you write bibliothèque and caterpillar in the comments below, wow, bonus points. Might give out a prize. Probably won't, but it would be nice. But I won't.
A caterpillar in a bibliothèque.
What is a bibliothèque?
A library.
Library.
Well, a bibliothèque. That's all I ever learned.
Oh, is it French?
I can find my way to
also
the
in
library and
German.
nowhere else.
I just thought it was a made-up
German
word.
too.
And
No, it's the
discotheque
German
is a
word.
disco.